And howdy everybody, welcome to the Red Zone channel here on Zaleski Sports. Jason, that's Dan. Sponsored by Security Health Plan, promises kept plain and simple. And the other thing tonight, quality, Nasonville Dairy cheese curds. Cheese curds made just outside of Marshfield. And you can get the cheese curds sent to you. Just go to nasonvilledairy.com. Dan and I, if you were watching last week, or even the week before, we had some food here during the show. We always make some offers to folks if they want to have their food or apparel, or maybe you've got an automobile that you'd like to give us, and we will talk really well about your situation. So Nasonville Dairy, been a supporter here for a long time.
Yeah, if somebody wants to dress us while around here, I'll wear a sport coat and talk all about your business all night long.
Yeah, over in Eau Claire. Maybe we should go to Eau Claire. They've got Muldoon's, the menswear shop, an advertiser of ours, and I think that was talked about at one point, not that long ago. But yeah. So anyway, we made some overtures the last couple weeks, and crickets. Nasonville stepping up and making sure that that we get taken care of tonight. So if nothing else, we've got some cheese to eat.
Yeah, they always do it. It's delicious. The cheese curds are mwah, chef's kiss.
Yeah, pretty sure we'll have Scotty's Pizza here next week. So, and that's the deal, right? You know, if you want us to promote your stuff, number one, we will, and the number two, we'll talk about it, like we are now. And so just get a hold of me, sales@zaleskisports.com. That's the best way to do it. Yeah, we made some overtures to some folks the last couple weeks. You know, maybe it's not for everybody. Maybe they don't want that kind of attention at their place. That's possible. Attention, though, speaking of, we've got 10 football games on the network tonight. Dan and I are also going to talk about Chiefs-Lions from last night, too.
Yeah.
Because we got some time to kill here. But first things first, let's talk about the schedule here tonight on Zaleski Sports. It's all football Friday. We had soccer last week. We had one soccer match last week.
That's right.
Like that tonight. It's all football all the time here. So we're going to, Dan and I are starting on Pacelli and Pittsville. There's some reasons for that, but I'll get into that later. And then we've also got River Falls Hudson, not on the network, but I endorse the type of broadcast the folks at River Falls do. Marshfield at DC Elmhurst, Wisconsin Rapids, just right down the road here at Gerke Park and Stevens Point. New Richmond is at Eau Claire Memorial, Little Chute at Wapaka, Roshold at Edgar, Pacelli, as I mentioned, at Pittsville. Ashland Ordockers, one of the best names in the state, Ordockers at Mosney. Spencer Columbus at Wittenberg, Burnhamwood, Manawa at Stratford, Amherst at Shiocton. And I would be shocked if any of those games turn out to be competitive into the second half. They can all prove me wrong.
I think the Valley games might.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I said I'll be shocked.
Shocked.
You like that?
I like that.
You like that?
I do.
So those are the games on Zaleski Sports Night. Also, once the games kick off, we got about 25 minutes or so, 24 minutes until kickoff. But once those games kick off, as I see the camera feed coming live down at Gerke, we'll split the screen like we have in weeks past. We'll show you 3 games surrounding our beautiful heads here. And then again, we've got 2 TVs. Maybe one of these days, Dan, we'll turn the camera on. They can see what we see. It's kind of a fun look. Right? So you take a picture. And
They can see the people walking past us. A lot of them wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. A couple weeks ago, somebody offered to rap for you.
They did.
We turned it down.
Well,
Wasn't sure how to fit it in. That's all. I'm sure he's a great rapper. I just wasn't sure how to fit that into the process here.
Yeah, well, the danger in having rappers come in is you do not know what is it going to be good.
Yeah,
Is
right.
it going to be
Familiar with
clean?
this person.
Is it going to be clean? It's a random person downtown Stevens Point.
Yeah, Anytown, USA, but you could get anything.
That's true.
In that way. All right, the NFL opens. So that means all football levels are in play right now.
About time.
Yeah, it is about time. I had a fun time watching college football last week. I may or may not have took a swing with Clemson and totally missed last week.
That was bad.
Horrible college football team.
That's not good.
Horrible college football team. They were ranked number 9. I got them ranked 900 after that game.
Yeah, there should not be polls. There should be no polls
Like
in the
before
first
the
couple
first week.
weeks. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And the Duke fans celebrated like they were like they beat the number
Rushed
one
the
team
field,
of all time, and like Like, you're better than them. It's not a fluke. You are better than them.
They really were. Yeah, they really were. Jamie Wenzel checking us out. Hey, Jamie. Thanks for watching. Surf Pro, #1 choice in cleanup and restoration. Contact Jamie Wenzel at Surf Pro. He'll get your situation fixed up. All right, and then we had the NFL last night, which was great. Obviously, you know, if I had my druthers now, I happen to get paid a couple bucks for doing this, but you know, the NFL is well, I mean, it's the highest quality of the sport, so it's easy for me to get immersed in the NFL. All the talk, and I heard it right away last night, and I was like, whoa, Mike Tirico. And then, of course, you know, all the social media is lit up overnight and into this morning, and those people are exactly right. Lions beat the Chiefs 21-0. It was, of course, Kansas City Chiefs are the reigning Super Bowl champions. 2 of the last 3 years. Does that sound right?
I don't know.
4, something like that.
2 recently.
2 recently. Reigning champs, though, and you know, they put the banner up last night, and the whole works. And they got beat at what do they call it?
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead, yeah. The sponsor, I didn't get the sponsor name. Giha or Gilo, I don't know. Gilligan. I don't know Kansas City that well. Other than a short story, Dan knows I love the mascots, right? I'm madly in love with every mascot that's out there. And the Kansas City Chiefs have a fox as their mascot. You've probably seen it.
I see him dancing under the goalpost.
He's awesome. He's entertaining, wildly crazy, fun. The fox, I've been to Kansas City a couple times, saw the fox in person. What in the world does a fox have to do with the Kansas City Chiefs? Years ago, the radio station, you know, 10 whatever, point whatever, the fox. And so they brought the mascot out, and the fox is the mascot. So that's why. Anyway, Lions win 21-20, really boring, and that Thursday night game to open the season always is. These teams have just been practicing a couple of times. Most of the impact players, this is their first game of the season since, you know, January or December last year. So that first, you know, and this Sunday, buyer beware here. Sunday is going to be equally as bad. Same situation. There's just going to be a lot of games going on. There'll be one game that'll excite everybody, and they'll forget about how horrible week 1 is because they've ruined the preseason. It's
preseason's bad.
Product. It's bad product. Anyway, so okay, Mike Tirico. So Lions win 21-20. Now Lions had some guys out. You know, there's injuries all the time in football. The games we're going to talk about tonight. Unfortunately, there are some kids who aren't playing because it's a physical sport. Travis Kelce, tight end, a lot of fantasy football guys. You know, in that second, third round, maybe first round. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a first rounder.
Depends how your scoring in your league works, but he's you know, a draft pick that comes off the board early. He wasn't playing last night. Tweaked his knee in practice on Tuesday or something.
He seemed to be walking okay on the sidelines, though.
Yeah, you could beat his chest like crazy.
Yeah.
That was his favorite move, doing that. So he didn't play. There was some other Chief maybe that didn't play. I don't know. But every team's got injuries. Anyway, Mike Tirico, who I've got some respect for. He's really climbed the ranks in his career.
Yep.
30 years in broadcasting, the whole thing. Syracuse grad. Said right after the final horn that it was a Lions win with an asterisk because the tight end didn't play for the Chiefs. I thought that was horrible.
Yeah, no such thing. Especially in the NFL, every team is so close. Yeah. And each of these games come down to just a handful of plays, if that. Yeah, I mean, Kansas City, lots of drop passes, of course. For those that watch the game.
Yeah, laughable.
Yeah, I mean,
Kadarius Toney was.
Yeah,
laughable.
And Detroit scored a touchdown on a drop pass.
he was here.
Yeah,
he was right here, which is textbook, right here.
Yeah,
and the ball went that way.
And it tipped, and the guy behind him caught it and went untouched for a touchdown.
Yep. Difference in the games, it turned out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. One game.
But there's a lot of interesting things. Detroit faking a punt in the first quarter from their own 20, ballsy. I like it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they came in thinking that they were underdogs on the road, tough place to play. Generally,
banners coming out, the crowd's going to be whipped into a frenzy.
Yeah. I think both teams are good. I think Detroit is probably the best team in the division. Maybe. I don't think it's Green Bay. You're
talking about your division, right?
Yeah.
The NFC North. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Bears fan. So I don't tell many people that for obvious reasons.
Well, now you've told thousands.
Yeah. But Detroit might be the best team in that division. I don't think that's that far-fetched. That's not controversial.
I mean, you could make a case right now. I think some were making that case before the season began.
They are literally in first place.
They are in first place.
Yeah. And Kansas City is going to be fine. Like for those that are scared and they saw like the offensive line looked bad, they had people hurt. The wide receivers, they're out of sync. Like just give it a couple weeks. It's Andy Reid. It's going to be fine. They're going to be scoring 35, 40 points a game every week again.
Chiefs right tackle was playing 3 yards off the line of scrimmage. That's not an exaggeration.
No, Hutchinson's a beast, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and he was going quick. He was trying to do a nice get off to match the get off of Hutchinson, and he was only flagged once. And I'm sure that this morning the league has sent an update to their officials and the teams. They send these all the time, but probably every day. So, but today's update was that your tackles have to be in line where they're supposed to be, otherwise the flags are coming out.
Yeah, it looked like he jumped a lot too, and they were not calling it like just a half beat early.
Well, yeah, I mean the correct call is illegal procedure.
Yeah.
Or illegal formation, sorry.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have 7 on the line of scrimmage. They had 6 or 5. The other tackle wasn't doing a whole lot better. He was a little bit better. So anyway, so NFL action from yesterday. Yeah, as Dan said, the Lions are in the first place. Chiefs are in last place.
It's true.
As of today. A lot of games on Sunday coming up, NFL-wise. Bears-Packers, though, started off 3:25 kick, I was told.
That's 325. I have no idea what's going to happen in that game.
Well, I don't think, just speaking of the majority around here, Green Bay Packers fans, which I am not either. Everybody already knows that, though. Their quarterback situation is totally brand new. And I remember, well, of course I remember when Brett Favre took the field or became good, but that's the thing, Dan, is Favre in Green Bay, I mean, he had 6 or 7 games where he was ramping up, and you saw him for 6 or 7 games, and then were able to say, oh, this might be an okay guy, and then then the season ended, then the next season became, and expectations grew in a tempered and measured way. Mm-hmm. And I guess somewhat the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. You really didn't see him though. He was Aaron. I was at the game. It was at the old Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas. Cowboys won on a Thursday night game down there. Brett Favre got knocked out of the game early in the third quarter, it was actually, well, I don't know. It was in the third quarter, and cornerback blitz came. He got popped. And
yeah, the corner killed him.
He came out. So, so Aaron Rodgers, who was a rookie that year, so I guess that was 2007, came in, and what I noticed right away is this guy's a runner.
Yeah.
In that game. And Packers were down by a lot. They were down by a little less by the time Rodgers was done. I'm like, so everybody kind of had an idea maybe this guy had something. And of course, he did. Nobody knows anything about Jordan Love.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people talk about how good he looked against the Eagles last year in that half. Man, the Eagles were up 5 touchdowns or something, right? And yeah, he did look good, but he's playing against prevent defense in that instance, and it doesn't make sense. Like they're giving him 10, 15-yard plays just to run it out. But yeah, I mean, for those that enjoy partaking in activities in Nevada, for example, the Bears are favored by 1.5 points.
1.5?
Yeah.
It's at Chicago?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the odds makers probably they don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know. So the Packers own the Bears. Like they just do. Ever since about 1993, I would say. The Packers beat up on the Bears all the time. So I have a hard time believing that the Bears would ever even be favored against the Packers. But there's a lot of hardcore Packer fans that are really down on the team.
Well, and then 2 receivers showed up in the injury report today.
Watson's out.
They won't play.
Yeah.
So that's for a first start for the quarterback, right? It's his first start?
Yeah.
Yeah. And your top 2 receivers are out. It's not a comfortable first start.
It'll be interesting. The Bears' offense looked terrible in preseason, like usual. I don't remember when the Bears' offense was good.
The offense? Yeah. Been a while.
It's been a long 40 years.
Rex Grossman had some flash every now and then.
1 year.
Yeah, he
One
did. He
year.
had some flash every now and then. But that's where you got to go.
Yeah.
And then you got to go a ways before that, maybe for the other time.
The Bears' best passing seasons were in like the 70s still. It doesn't make any sense. The game, it's 60 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll find out about that. The Chiefs were favored by 5.5 last night, so obviously that didn't happen. I had no idea what to expect. The over-under was 53.5. I took the under for an undisclosed amount.
Hit.
And I felt really happy at the end of the night.
Hit.
I certainly did. And my advice would be take the under
Most
on
games.
Sunday.
Yeah.
In week 1. Take the under. Because these offenses are just going to struggle.
Speaking of mascots real quick.
Yeah.
We talked about Ashland playing Mosinee tonight.
Rockers.
Yep. And I went to school, Lumberjack Conference.
Yeah, you've been to Ashland, to the
Absolutely.
school. Mhm.
Yep, it's a long trip.
Yeah.
And they obviously don't have a ship that comes in during basketball games, right? So what do you think their mascot is? Because they do have a mascot. At least they did.
Just a
It might be
guy
different.
walking around with a lime green shirt on.
They had Wile E. Coyote chasing Roadrunner around the court.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with Ashland or Dockers, but that's what they did. It was really entertaining.
Okay. All right. Kickoff approaching. We've got about 10 minutes of national anthem. We see a coin toss happening right now in Pittsville. So we know that things are steadily progressing. We've mentioned on the bottom TV here, we're going to keep an eye on, at least for the first few minutes, probably like you do at home, we switch these channels all the time.
Yeah.
We got 10 games, really 12, because we're keeping an eye on Hudson and River Falls, and on our split screen, it'll be over Dan's head. It'll be up this direction. There we go, right up there. We have River Falls coming on now. We'll have Nina and Kakana, 2 ranked teams going at it there. You mentioned rankings. Rankings available at ZaleskiSports.com. We do our own rankings here because the coaches don't know how to. The rankings you find elsewhere, and we'd recommend not. There are some in other places. These are coaches that are filling out a form, or the equipment manager filling out a form, and they send it back. I guarantee you a coach of any sport has no idea the quality of teams statewide.
No.
But that's what they're asked to do. They're asked to send that form back in their division, statewide. Know all 68 teams in your division. They don't know that, and how could they? But we do. And
Yeah.
so ZaleskiSports.com rankings, they come out on Wednesday. You just click news, and they're there. We put them on social media too, so you can see them there.
Do you see this River Falls hype video?
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah. It's interesting what you can do when you've only got one team to follow.
Well, okay,
It's
so
really nice. So no, I agree.
Yeah.
And they do it for all their sports. The River Falls, I don't know what they call it, the YouTube for River Falls, spectacular. It is really good.
so if a school like Marshfield Tigers
Yeah.
came to you and said, "Hey, before you broadcast our game,
Yeah.
can you play this 45-second clip of highlights for the season so far?" Would you
Well,
say
they brought
no?
it to us, yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a
Yeah.
good idea,
Is that
actually.
what you're advocating?
Yeah.
Okay. A young man by the name of Carter Buck, he's on the Edgar football team. He does such things. It's a passion of his to create those types of videos. He made
Nice.
one of you from a couple of years ago.
Doing what?
Your play-by-play that year, you did Edgar football.
I did do Edgar football one
Yeah,
year.
so he made a highlight video. I mean, it was of the team, but it's all you. It's 7 minutes of Dan Ross calling Edgar touchdowns and sacks and whatever's.
Yeah, the only thing that has gone somewhat viral of me in the last 2 years has been me yelling about the Garantula.
Yep. Yes. Protect the children, right?
Yep. The Garantula's feeding. Protect the children.
People did like that. And I see why. It's catchy.
Congratulations, Grant Warren,
Yeah, Northern Michigan.
Northern
right?
Michigan.
Yeah, it's a good spot.
Yeah, it's a great spot for him.
Good spot. And he's still got room to grow, I think.
Yep.
Maybe not physically, but maybe, who knows, but certainly skill-wise. There's a lot of potential there
Yeah.
for Grant Warren, I think.
Yeah, and
I don't know that he plays football, though.
No.
Marathon's playing at Assumption tonight.
no.
We're not carrying that game.
Pacelli basketball player got a high D1 offer from
Yeah, Jane
UW
Dunaway
Milwaukee.
From UW Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And there'd be some more to come there. It's a really nice backdrop there in River Falls, isn't it? With the
Yeah.
hills
We
and now
talk-
the trees starting to change.
Yeah,
color.
we talked about this on the phone today.
Yeah.
These leaves are changing way too early
Yeah.
this year.
Well, there they are in River Falls. I
Yeah.
was in Antigo on Sunday last week, and between Merrill and Antigo, we'll talk about the war on 64 tonight. Merrill and Antigo football going on. I really wasn't paying attention. I was trying to get back into baseball mode, and I didn't really know how to. So I had spent a lot of concentration, and I made the turn onto 64, and I was fondly remembering the pig roast from
Yeah.
a month ago. Drove right past Penny Lane on the way to Antigo that day.
My ankle still hurts.
And
Still
also I
injured.
looked up and I saw purple and red and yellow and orange leaves.
Yeah.
All over the place on Highway 64. And then I told Dan the story earlier, it'd probably be the last, well, it won't be the last story tonight, but Don and Christy watching, hey guys. There'll be plenty of stories tonight, no doubt about it, because I think the quality of our games may be lacking a little bit tonight. So there's a lot of time for that, for these kind of things. But I was at a place called Cropping Central, and if you're looking for seed and crop insurance and mapping and agronomy and those types of things, Cropping Central, north of Stratford, Highway 97 is your place. Talking to the proprietor there, Chad Erickson, and I was just mentioning, I'm not a farmer, but the land around the house is leased to a farm down the road, and they come and they take care of it. They plant whatever, according to their schedule. And so every third year is corn, so it's corn this year. And I just mentioned to Chad, I said, it's interesting. Without the rain, I wonder if there's a chance that corn comes down early. I don't know how it works. He said, no, there's a really good chance because every so often they measure the moisture in there, and once it gets to a certain bottom level of floor, then it's got to come off. The very next day, here they are chopping the corn, and I'm sure that's going to happen all over the place. But the leaves changing a little earlier, probably because of the lack of water. Plants need water just like we do.
So River Falls has a 10 in front of them. I wonder what pole that even is.
Well,
I can check
yeah. Well,
Travis Wilson's site.
Well, that's it's interesting.
What if they're using yours?
Well, they should. Let's take a look.
There's also an AP poll for the state
Yep.
that I saw.
Yep.
That actually liked a little bit better, but they only have 3 divisions.
Yeah. Well, it's a little more mathematical, which is the way to do it.
Ours is more mathematical for sure.
Yes. I think Mike. So the first couple weeks, Mike went a little more creativity than science, but we're all science now. And I think our chicken's here, Dan. So
Looks like it.
Pretty good time for the chicken to show up.
Yeah. Do you owe this guy anything?
Nope. Just a handshake, probably. Fist bump. Whatever it might be.
Hi, your name, please?
Jason Zaleski.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. So the chicken is here.
I am-
not a sponsor, so we got.
I'm
keep that
Jason
low.
Zaleski.
Rankings. We're talking about rankings. Okay, those will load up here.
Let's go through the games. Right? We got 10 games.
Okay.
We have games that aren't on the network that are obviously going to be very good. I will talk about a game not on the network tonight.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's the log game. Wausau West against Wausau East at Tom Field. They share the same home field, so there's no home field advantage necessarily. But we got cars honking at each other out here.
I thought they were
Traffic
honking at
jam.
us.
I wish.
Oh, okay.
But it's the last log game. It's also the first one in years because East hasn't had a team.
Since 2019.
Yeah. But given conference realignment next year, Wausau East will not be in the valley. There won't be a valley. There's going to be a...
Here, Chris just sent a message.
No, we are not.
Are you streaming West East? No. So look, I got a click button. No. Go ahead.
Unfortunately not. But
yeah, unfortunately.
yeah, so Valley won't exist after this year. It's going to be the Big River Valley or something, or the Big...
I even got to look up the name. Maybe it's the... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up. I've known it, but I don't know it now.
Yeah, so the bigger schools in the Valley are going to share conference out west instead of east, or maybe they're even splitting a little bit. We'll have to look it up. But Wausau East won't be in the Wausau West Conference anymore. Wausau East is going up to the Great Northern. And given that the schools are maybe, probably combining in the near future. This is the last log game. Goes back a long ways and really big deal in the city of Wausau. Less so lately, I would say. And tonight's game is probably a running clock game, but you never know.
Well, it has potential to be, plus the way that Wausau West runs the ball, the clock will just run quick.
It's true.
Yeah, although Ray Ronick, he had some ball handling issues last week.
It's true.
And I know that if you're a lumberjack, you take advantage of things laying on the ground.
Absolutely.
Logs, footballs, whatever. And yeah, we've got that. We've got the jug right down the street, Spash and Wisconsin Rapids. Number 9 ranked Spash Panthers here on Zaleski Sports.
What do you think about that game?
Well, I think from I was pretty downtrodden on Wisconsin Rapids last week because they lost to Wausau West, and I haven't picked up my energy on since then. So Spash has continued to impress. But if there was a game that a 16 or 17-year-old may let you down on, if you're a Spash Panthers fan, this would be one I guess you'd be concerned about. Especially after one of the kids last week guaranteed conference in the postgame interview.
Yeah, they seem confident.
That's something a kid will do, though.
Hey,
right?
they're in first place, right? They're tied for
are.
first. I mean, until they get knocked off,
Yeah.
they're the best team in conference till they lose.
Pittsville Panthers are ranked number 5 in the state in Division 7, right? Pittsville must be in 7.
I think so.
Got a roller skater. I saw this lady out here roller skating earlier. So we got our roller skater out here on the street. And she's pointing everybody down. She's like, I skate better than you. I skate better than you.
Yeah,
You're the only one that skates, ma'am, so you do skate better than everybody.
a lot better than me. I know that. What else we have? We have Edgar Rosholt.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mismatch.
Yeah.
It's a mismatch. You can't pull any punches on these things.
That's in Edgar, Alumni Night.
Alumni Night in Edgar. Hard Knocks, episode 5 being filmed tonight. Episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 are on all, the channels you're watching us on are on all these channels, or you just go to YouTube. It's probably the easiest way, and just type Edgar Hard Knocks, and you can just watch them. So, yeah, Alumni Night there, but a mismatch for sure. You know, and I think this Pittsville-Pacelli is also a mismatch. Pacelli, they don't bring a lot of kids on the team, and I see a couple guys walk around in boots and crutches, and that usually isn't a good sign for a team that's already low on numbers. Pittsville's got a pretty good group out there. Probably got about 40 kids.
I see Menominee up 8-0 on Chippewa Falls. Look at this score thing on the bottom here. Wow.
Okay. Why did they kick off at 6? I wonder.
It's the first
Menominee
quarter.
in Chippewa Falls.
Maybe they kicked
scored
off.
already?
Maybe.
Kick return for a touchdown?
Could be.
Huh.
I have been pushing for a Zaleski Sports ticker on the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, so...
I
no,
push
I
for a
know.
lot of things here.
Yeah, and you've got some. I like must be the Hudson kids on the other side there. That's a pretty good view.
It looks like they're dressed in fur or something. It looks like it, doesn't
Davy
it?
Crockett night at UW River Falls for the Hudson Raiders. Yeah, so all the broadcasts are run from the press box.
Yeah.
If we were able to have a control center, then maybe.
A widget of some sort.
Yeah, but there's so.
We need a tech person.
Yeah, well, I know how to do it. So how you do it and how River Falls, and again, River Falls, fantastic deal over there, and they've got it good, the kids at River Falls, and they know that. You know, they've got an extra person in the booth, and this is all they do. They run that crawl, as they call it, and it's a really nice feature. I agree, but so it's one person, and they're manually looking at all the scores and these are all Big Rivers games that they have on there. So they're manually looking at them or for them. Now some they won't be able to find because not everybody broadcasts their games in video. But it's a tough one at this level of technology.
So this is a newer feature just in sports in general. When we were little, there was no way to know what the scores of the games were unless on a local channel you had the game of the week. They didn't have like a ticker, right?
No.
You waited for halftime and like Greg Gumbel or somebody at halftime to tell you what the scores were.
Yep.
And if your team is playing off the local channel, you're like, I have no idea how they're doing. I hope they're doing good. And sometimes they would come in with like a scoring update or whatever.
Every now and then. And it was only if it was on their own network. Now they can
Right.
find every game.
Yeah, right. And then they went to like they would flash a screen like once a quarter of the scores. I know NBC did this. And then it wasn't really until like the mid 2000s maybe where they just had a ticker up in the corner where it just flipped through the scores, and now they have that, and they have scores on the bottom with fantasy stats and everything. For younger viewers who don't even remember the non-HD days,
Yeah, I do.
right? Oh, I definitely do.
Yeah.
Kids are spoiled a little bit these days with technology. I can't even imagine what it looks like in 20, 30 years. Honestly, drones.
So, Dan, yeah, right. Every, one advancement could be every helmet has a camera right
Could
here. You're just able to, so Grandpa and Grandma in Arizona can just watch just their kid and how they run around the football field.
I do like
Could be an advancement.
the official cams that they have on their hats and masks in baseball. Being able to see the game up close, it's really interesting. I don't think it's taken off the way that they wanted it to, but taking a look at a 100-mile-an-hour fastball as it comes into you, no thank you. Hard pass.
So I am struggling here mightily on this Nina game because the place we were told to go watch it isn't, they don't have it. Which does happen sometimes.
Pittsville has the ball first. Pittsville is undefeated on the season, maybe a little bit surprising. I'm not exactly sure on their schedule, but they have been dominant through their first 3 games.
There we go.
And a long run right away. Yeah, Pittsville might literally run over Pacelli tonight.
There we go. Kakona and Nina. There we go. Got it on the screen now. Yeah, they advertised the link was invalid.
Ah,
Yeah. So imagine, right? I mean, if we struggle to find the game, imagine what the average Joe or Jane, I don't know what the average person, imagine them trying to figure out this. And they say, forget it. I'm going to go watch Andy Griffith. Or something, right? They're going to go watch something else. They're not going to care.
probably not the demo that we're looking for.
Maybe not. Maybe not. They'll go watch Friends on Netflix.
Yeah, you're not hitting that 18 to 35 demo.
Well, they're going to go play Xbox if they can't find the game.
It's true.
Forget about it. Or go take a walk or something. So, all right. Well, we're underway, looks like everywhere. So good to see. Glad to have you all here, by the way. Red Zone, sponsored by Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. A brand new, what am I going to call this here? Fleet of commercials were just released by our friends at Security Health Plan.
Pittsville's on the board.
Couple plays in, huh?
Yeah, that's about a 45-yard run.
There's a wet paper bag. So we got that. I don't know why that happens, but we've got a very nice wet.
River Falls has the instant replay going on, and
Do they? Good.
so does the Pittsville game.
Good. Let's see here. I'm going to put these right here.
I think so. The cheese curds are fantastic, by the way. Nasonville Dairy,
Yep.
food sponsor of the night.
We have chicken nuggets, and we can't tell you from where.
Yeah,
What a shame.
it is what it is.
Shame.
Do we want to know what's in the wet bag? It's really wet.
It's supposed to be our vegetables.
It is vegetables. You know what? I don't think I'm a vegetable kind of night.
Why would you put wet things in a paper bag, though? Yeah,
It's hard to say.
there's a reason they're not a sponsor.
The number one reason is they're not paying you.
Number one reason.
Number
one
two
reason.
is wet vegetables.
There we go. Okay, I mentioned the rankings. You asked about River Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit refresh for some stupid reason. So Pittsville, we didn't have that on the poll. Let's look at the poll. We had a poll out there today on x.com.
Yeah, do they win?
I didn't have Pittsville. on there. Or did I? No, didn't.
This Little Sprouts commercial is adorable.
Isn't it though?
It really is.
Yeah. I was out there that day with those kids. I told the story the other night too, so, it's a whatever weekday morning, nice morning, pleasant morning. And all the kids from the daycare, Little Sprouts, in Auburndale and in Rudolph. Although sometimes Auburndale, they call it Arpendale. People in Auburndale don't like that. Anyway, so you've got 100 kids, give or take, right? And most kids are enjoying it. But here's the thing. Kids haven't developed their communication abilities yet. And so, some kids having a bad day, but they're out in the sunflowers or they're having a bad day, and they just scream. Just scream the whole time. You can't help that. Edgar won the poll. Most of our users on X thought Edgar would score first. So the contest is just between these four, even though Pittsville, the first team I saw, we didn't see Menominee score, but the first team I saw score was Pittsville. But
This is 2 straight weeks that you didn't have the winner on the poll.
No, last week we had Pacelli and Edgar. They were on the poll.
Yeah, but they didn't win.
Oh, I see. What was the shortest game? I don't know. What was the shortest game last week?
Because Edgar Pacelli, we thought it was over, but they had a whole quarter left.
Oh, yeah. And Everest Appleton, they were on the poll.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But those are the only 4 we were looking at. So some other game probably finished before.
I'm sure there's a game in the state that finished before.
X only allows us to have 4 on there. Limitations.
Elon, come on, man.
And as Dan knows, I'm a big Elon user. Got the Starlink, got the Tesla, and X. I'm an X user as well. Okay, you asked about River Falls. Jeez, it's been like 20 minutes ago. River Falls in a accurate poll is not ranked. So some coach somewhere put them as number 1. That put them up the list, and it's they're probably a really good football team.
Do you have
team,
others to watch?
No, well, we rank the top 15, so those 11 through 15 are the. For others would be an honorable mention, but we just put them on there because we've got 1 through 510.
Mm-hmm.
We've got every team in the order. So I'll tell you the number ones, and you just go to ZaleskiSports.com, you click on news, and they're all on there. Division 7 is Bangor.
That's believable.
Division 6, Kewanee.
Okay.
Division 5 is Winnebago Lutheran. Division 4 is Ellsworth.
Beat Edgar.
Yeah, by 1.
2.
2, yeah.
8-6, what a game.
Division 3, Port Edwards.
That's not right. Port
What did I say?
Washington?
Port Washington, jeez.
Yeah.
It is Port Washington. I don't know why I said Edwards.
I
Port
was like-
Washington, Division 3.
Port Edwards doesn't belong in Division 3.
Division 2, Kettle Moraine. Well, they're 8-man. And Division 1 is Muskego. Here's the thing. 1 and 2 are Muskego, Mukwonago. We here at Zaleski Sports will give you highlights of that game next week.
All right.
Number 1 and number 2 teams in the state in Division 1 going at it, and we will be there for highlights.
Would Kimberly be number 1 if they played the first week?
Possible. They're number 3.
Yeah.
So possible. The math would stack up in their favor, for sure.
Yep. And the math gets better and better for more data points that come in. So head to Zaleski Sports if you want to see accurate rankings of a mathematical model of wins and losses. And I'm willing to bet that mathematical model will be very similar to what the playoffs are. A little bit different because the sectionals aren't pre-made, right? But geographically speaking, I have a feeling that Jason here is going to do his best to try to put the 4 regions of 8 together geographically and give you...
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Dan.
And just give you 1 through 8 of each of those regions.
We learned a lot about the mapping process.
You did.
During the spring. Yeah, well, and I taught some other people too.
Yeah.
We here at Zaleski Sports learned a lot about the mapping process over the spring. And so we know way more about it now than last year. And last year, even with not knowing much about the mapping, we got really close.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that information, and VIP users will get to see that in a few weeks. So let's see, River Falls on the board.
Missed the extra point.
Missed the extra point. Now that's interesting because River Falls has a boys soccer team, Usually when you have that soccer team, you're able to make your extra points. And you got a kid with an American flag and a River Falls flag going crazy on the track down there. Okay.
A lot more energy than I have had in many years. Pacelli has driven the ball down on Pittsville.
Big third down, 3rd and 1 for the Cardinals.
I don't see the officials in shorts tonight, so we're improving. Oh, they jumped. They,
No flag. And they picked it up. First down. So the Cardinals are in the red zone, I think.
yeah,
Okay.
gotta be.
Can't see the yard markers, but I think.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned this last week, right? Why not paint those on the field, the numbers?
Or at least put the
Or
hash marks in.
Yeah, there's no hash marks on there either. It looks a little bit rough in Pittsville too, doesn't it?
It does.
Not a knock on the school. I mean, the kids are tough on things sometimes.
Now, the track looks really nice. The track looks new around the football field.
Play action pass.
Yeah.
Complete? No, incomplete. They wave it. Wave it off. Chicken nuggets good?
Really good.
Good enough?
Really good.
All right.
Do we have any score updates over there in the quad box?
Kakana 7. Nina nothing, although the Rockets are inside the 5-yard line. So the Rockets are in the red zone, but they fumble and the Ghosts have it. My Kakana Ghosts.
In white.
Yeah, well, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, boy, that's a ghost. Usually, Hollywood depicts it as that. Spash, Panthers lead 7-0 over Wisconsin Rapids.
Number 9 ranked Panthers.
Number 9 ranked Panthers. Think about that too. I was pretty down on Spash after that first week, and undeservedly so. I have changed my tune on the Panthers, and I'm never going to predict a conference winner after week 3, like the student athlete there did last week. But they win tonight. They've certainly got an inside track on it.
Still games with Everest and West yet, I believe, right?
Yeah, and Marshall. I mean, almost every. They've only had one conference game. So.
Yeah.
Which you find it a little bit interesting then if you've got somebody in your team that's calling conference.
Yeah.
after winning one conference game, but they're 16 or whatever. I mean, they're being interviewed. It's the time of their life. They're having a great time. Things get carried away.
1-0 conference. Conference is theirs.
That's what he said.
He might not be wrong. Who knows? But
it could happen. It could happen.
But I have a feeling that the coach might have had some words about not just to him but the entire team.
If you ever wonder of how a team might decide to have a team rule that our student athletes don't give interviews, that might give you some insight. Might just be why. Marshfield Everest scoreless, about a minute left in the first quarter. Marshfield pinned deep. Yeah,
Everest has new field.
Pinned deep until now. How about you uncork a 40-yard pass? That'll get you out of the shadows of your own end zone. So Marshfield on the move. Cardinals still, what happened there, Dan? No, Pittsville's got the ball now. See, we'll look away for 1 second.
Turnover on downs.
Turnover downs, okay.
Yeah.
So Cardinals were driving. Give it back to the Panthers in Pantherland. Pittsville's got a brand new logo.
Pittsville does?
Yeah. I don't know. It's new, so, it's new. It's like, I'm slow sometimes to come around on things like that. It just looks a little too...
Are they Panthers?
Edgy to me. Yeah, Panthers.
Alliteration.
Uh-huh.
I like it. Pacelli Cardinals. Not.
Their logo was good. It was a panther with teeth hanging out and stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's... I can show you, but it's I don't know, too modern for me.
What do you think is the worst logo in the NFL?
In the NFL?
Yeah.
Hudson, on the move. He's to the 10, the 5, touchdown. The Raiders strike back. In the NFL, well, I mean, and again, I still call them the Redskins. Redskins, Giants, Eagles, all the worst. All the worst logos.
That's because you're a Cowboys fan.
That's right. No, actual worst logo?
Mine's Cleveland.
Well, because it's just brown, right?
Just an orange helmet, yeah.
Orange, whatever. Yeah, orange helmet. It seems like they really failed in the creativity department with that.
No, that's part of the genius, is what I'm told. That's part of the genius of it.
Whatever. I'll get back to you on that. I got to think that one through. Because really, I only dislike 3 things in the NFL. That's really it.
The Packers aren't one.
No, I'm neutral. Don't really care about the Packers.
Don't really care. They don't win anything.
In my lifetime, being a Cowboys fan, I've seen more success from my team, and so I've got some longevity. And
Yeah, man, those '90s were a long time ago, though.
I know. So there.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah. I mean, the gray, I'm not a huge fan of. I like the
It's got a gray
fangs.
tongue.
Yeah.
And they've got yellow. I'm not sure. There should be some yellow there. I don't know. It's an upgrade, I suppose. The other one was rather like 1940s
Oh,
looking.
this running back for Pittsville, he's impressive. He's special. He might break this.
I believe that's Getzinger is the name of the individual.
Oh my gosh.
34, is that what we're seeing there?
They are going to show this on replay
Okay.
and watch this run. Long run, 60, 70-yard run.
Pittsville up 12-0.
Yeah.
2:48 to play in the first.
Right here.
I'm going to look up the name.
Oh no. So instant replay has to go before this because he broke the line. There was a linebacker that he kind of did the stutter step juke, and the linebacker jumped one way, he just went the other way. Impressive stuff.
I believe the young man's last name was Getzinger. We'll find out. I've got it here. They are in the Merriwood this year, Pittsville.
Yep.
Last year for the Merriwood, as you pointed out in the show a couple times.
We need to get the bat signal out on Merriwood Pride.
Are they dead?
I don't
I
know.
haven't seen anything. Dawson Luther with a, 60-yard touchdown run?
At least, yeah.
Okay.
At least.
And 2-point conversion is good.
Oh, back on even numbers again. 14-0.
Jamison Krieger hauls in the 2-point conversion. So if you graduate in 25, you're a junior, right? So the junior
Yeah.
Krieger and the sophomore Dawson Luther with the touchdown. All right. Wisconsin Rapids is on the move. They are inside the red zone. Now, Dan will remember last week, Wisconsin Rapids, they were able to move the ball,
Mm-hmm.
but they weren't able to convert 3rd and 4th downs last week. I mean, at an atrocious rate. We're not able to convert. And they're going to have a 3rd down now. It's going to be a 3rd and about 7. They'll be tested early. They're inside the red zone, 30 seconds left. Game on Zaleski Sports. Number 9 ranked Spash Panthers trying to keep the Red Raiders out of the end zone as they battle for the jug. I think it's like the 103rd year for the jug or something like that.
Yeah. With sports, our friend Travis Wilson
Travis.
had a preview of longest rivalries in the state, and this one's up there somewhere.
It has been going on for a long time. I mean, 130 is not right. I made that up. But, probably 70 years.
Yeah.
Rapids will not run a play. So they'll go to the end of the first quarter at Gerke Field, just a few blocks down the road here, with the number 9 ranked Spash Panthers leading 7-0, but Wisconsin Rapids knocking on the door. They'll have a 3rd and 6 coming up from the 10-yard line after the quarter break. I was going to dip my carrot in the lid. That's not going to work. Not going to work. Had a holding penalty. So, Dan, we can change that game anytime up there. You just tell me what you want to see. Instead of Pittsville and Pachella.
I think it's good for now.
Okay. Now, let's see here. Marshfield, it's 2nd quarter now in Schofield. Marshfield still with the ball, still scoreless between the two. The Tigers are going to have a 4th and 5.
Got to go for it.
4th and 5 upcoming from the DC Everest 40. Marshfield has been challenged offensively. They are averaging about 11 points a game.
Let me tell you about offensive challenging.
Okay.
My Lakeland T-Birds haven't scored in 11 quarters. 11 straight zeros.
So they scored the first quarter of the season? That's
Yeah.
been it?
It was the first drive, I think, against Wausau East, and have not scored since. They traveled to Medford tonight, so we'll update you next week when it's 15 quarters.
Yeah. All right, so Marshfield lines up 4th down at the DC Everest 40-yard line. Again, just inside
he
the
jumped.
2nd quarter, but a false start.
Yeah.
Man, coaches get frustrated a lot.
I get frustrated. I can't imagine the coach.
On a 4th down like that, you jump. You don't want to be that guy coming back to the sideline if you don't convert here.
Yeah, I mean, you're letting teammates down.
Yep. Yeah, and now they're going to punt. So now he's coming to the sideline. And if that's me, so they're coming off the field at the 50. I try to run towards the 25. See if coach wants to march all that way down to confront me. I'll deal with my teammates. I don't want to hear from coach.
Looks like Rapids has a
Okay, yeah, thank you.
field goal
Marshall
attempt.
punting. So again, Wisconsin Rapids not able to convert on third down. So that trend continues here in 2020.
27-yard field goal should be a gimme.
Well, they've got a soccer team. And it looks
Oh,
good
I
from
don't
here.
know. Yeah.
It's good. So Wisconsin Rapids on the board. 7-3, Panthers lead. We'll turn it. People that are watching on Stan, they get to see all this. There we go. And we've got our first safety of the year.
Really?
The Nina Rockets, 2.
Oh, yeah, 2.
Kakana 7. So that's interesting. So Kakana recovered that fumble on their own 10. So something must have went haywire there. You know what? Guess what I can do.
The magic of
You know,
scrolling or whatever they call it.
that's what I can do. So there's where the fumble happened. Okay. Oh.
Well, but they're
I
all
see the
jumping
cheerleader
around.
Jumping. So Kakana recovered it on their own 7, it looks like. So they're in shotgun, which is the first problem when you're in that deep. You got to go under center. Pass into the end zone, he fell down in the end zone. So that's a safety because
Yep.
in high school and college,
You can't get up.
When you're down, you're down.
Yeah.
You don't need to be touched. Well, that's a tough way to get a safety. And why are you throwing a swing pass in the end zone? I got a lot of questions there. But my first one is, you got to take that snap under center when you're inside the 10 at the high school level.
Pacelli punting.
What is the deal with shotgun in high school? Somebody's got to explain to me.
What's the deal with the airplane nuts?
This already is kind of a comedy show, but we can really turn it into one. Thanks everybody out there for watching. I haven't checked the comments here in a while.
I know you can take the reservation, but can you keep the reservation?
That's really the problem we're going to have here. Yes, I'm going to take the insurance because I am going to beat the crap out of this car. Seinfeld, gotta love it.
Yep. Pittsville with the ball, up 14.
Okay, so Pacelli punted.
Yep, this is going to be a handoff.
Well.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Everybody's open downfield, and he throws it to the one guy who's covered. three open jerseys.
Middle linebacker batted it down. That was good. Dan's right though. There were 3 places to throw it, not the 4th. The read one was not where to go.
Well,
But he'll learn about that.
a penalty anyway.
He'll learn about that. Wittenberg Burnhamwood, number 6 ranked in our Division 5 poll.
The Chargers.
Chargers up at home on Spencer Columbus, 14-0.
Not a surprise.
No, I don't think the Rockets have scored this year, have they? I don't think they have.
You're going to have some angry Spencer
Yeah,
fans.
if I'm wrong, right? Well, they didn't score last week. It was 7-0. I don't remember them scoring in week 2, so it's a down year for the Rockets. Down year. Not for former Rocket, though, Hunter Lipke, who's on the 53-man squad for the Dallas Cowboys. And on Saturday, at around 3 o'clock, he'll be told if he's on the game day 46. I would suspect not, because he's the 4th running back. And I don't know that you're taking 4 running backs to any game.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, that's all I can say about the Rockets tonight. It's been a struggle otherwise. New Richmond, ranked number 2 in our poll, number 2 team in Division 2. Scoreless at Eau Claire Memorial. Bob Radovich on the call.
Second quarter, I see it on the scroll here.
You see it there. Well, excellent.
I'm looking up Spencer's.
Yeah. Well, because let's clear the air if I'm wrong. Because you're right.
We want to get things right.
okay.
We want to get things
I
right.
just don't remember week 1. I know the other team scored a lot of points, so I guess it's possible. You know, when the other team scores a lot, you might get some opportunity. You're going to get the ball a lot more. You're great to taking pictures of us.
Yeah.
How you doing? Yeah, and the peace sign. Okay.
What
I don't know if you look all that stable, man.
No, I was a little nervous. What conference is Spencer in this year?
They're in the CWC Large.
CBC Large.
No.
Clover Belt, not a thing in
Nope.
football.
Nope. Nope. It was last the Clover would until teams like Spencer and others departed from it about 10 years ago
Yeah.
or so.
Okay, so Spencer lost 7-0 last week.
Yep.
Week 1, they lost 70-0 to St. Croix Central,
Okay.
but they lost to Colby 46-14.
Good. All right. Good. Well, they're having trouble tonight.
This is a fact-based show. We want to get things right the best that we can.
It's a lot to know. We do have, we've got our phones, we can look up some things, but there are no notes here. We're just going. We're just going.
I have a marker board on my lap so I can... Ooh, a fumble.
Was it a fumble?
Yeah.
Boy. You know what, though, Dan? I bet, let's see a replay here. If those are NFL rules, I'm not sure he completed the process of the catch. But River Falls, big fumble recovery. After a nice pass play by Hudson, DC Everest is in the end zone. So the Evergreens go up 6-0 at home over Marshfield.
Well, number 71 is swimming in the air as he runs to the sideline.
I don't know how that works. He's been in the house, though, this year, that guy. I don't recall
Let's
the
see.
young man's name. Yeah, see, I don't, you can't, you
Yeah.
see the other angle, but it was up here, and then it was down here. I bet in the NFL, I bet it's probably an incomplete pass.
Well, in the NFL, they'd be able to slow it down
Oh,
and
right,
like
right.
magnify it in by
Right.
by the pixel
There
to
you've
see.
only got one guy who saw it, and he had to see it in real time.
Yeah, and he's not
That's all.
and he's not in position. He's standing right
Yeah.
where he is now.
Another 60-yard touchdown for the Pittsville Panthers.
I have some school records falling tonight.
Literally running it up on the Cardinals.
Pittsville's looked really, really good this
We
year.
got them ranked number 5.
Yeah.
Got them ranked number 5 for a reason. Let's see here. Kaukauna on the move. The Ghosts are in the red zone. They're moving it. They're really going right down the throats of the Neenah Rockets. And Neenah came in with some high praise. But the Ghosts are having no trouble moving the ball. 7 minutes left in the second quarter. It's 7-2. Turnover for Kaukauna has them without more points than 7. But they're in the red zone now. And you're watching the Zaleski Sports Red Zone channel presented by Security Health Plan. Promises kept, plain and simple. Dan and I will be in Kaukauna in 2 weeks for Oshkosh West. So you'll get to hear us. We're going to go spread the good word about Security Health Plan in the Fox River Valley. And we Cardinal down on the field, so they go to commercial, and that's going to cause me to turn the channel there, Dan. That's all I can. That's it. I'm calling
Well,
it.
yeah.
From the decision desk, calling it.
I've seen enough.
Yep.
Assumption at Marathon tonight. Assumption has scuffled the last couple of weeks. They had a really nice win against Necedah, and then hasn't looked great the last 2 weeks. 69-30 loss and a 60-16 loss. Need to see some defense tonight out of the Royals.
Yeah. Any scoring updates there?
I
From
don't know.
Southwood County Field?
I don't have one yet.
Okay.
It's not on the network, so
It's not on any network. I don't think.
you know what? X will tell me.
Okay.
Not
While
my
you're doing that,
X.
I'm going to find us a new game.
Okay.
And I've got some ideas. I haven't seen a lot of Mosney football this year, so I'm going to turn on Mosney and Ashland. And I turn it on to find out it's 21-0 Mosney. Mosney returning a punt. And the wall is being set up nicely. How do I walk into these things? All right, so nice.
There's an awful lot of purple on this field.
35, yeah, Ashland's also purple. 35-yard return. I thought that was Jersley, I believe.
Mosney's up 21 already. Holy man.
Jersley, nice return there.
When's that Mosney Medford game? Just fast forward this conference until that game.
Yep.
Those two teams are so far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, different, totally different, right? Now, Mosney, I think both are Division II, aren't they?
They should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of the others in this conference are not.
Most are Division 3, I think.
Ashland could be. Well, yeah, Ashland might be 3.
Yeah, and it really depends, right? Because
Depends on how many make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they get divided up from there.
yeah, they just look at records, 216 or whatever it is, and they just cut it up in 32s, top 32, second 32, third 32.
Yep.
So that could vary wildly year to year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's one reason we saw Stratford win Division 6 state championship last week instead of being slotted in Division 5, where they had been regularly, because of that very reason.
Yeah.
Math.
Edgar fans, you will be Division 7.
Yeah, there's no way around that.
Yeah, because there's some really good teams above you that are generally Division 7. Regis, Blackhawk, I think Bangor, all higher enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
So unless all of those teams go to Division 6,
Yeah.
safely in.
Yeah, safely so.
At least in football.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because Edgar enrollment is going up, which is good to see.
I'm being told more and more it's a bedroom community for Wausau. You think that's true?
Yeah, it's really not that far away. Marathon kind of has that title now.
But yeah, much closer. You know, that's a pretty comfortable drive really into Wausau for Marathon.
Mosinee has really good facilities. I like their football field a lot. But definitely think that they might be on the list to move to turf.
Mosinee?
Yeah. They feel like they're about that size. It feels like everybody else is. Merrill is.
Seems like maybe they would have the support
Yeah.
locally for that.
I will say that I have never played on a turf field, but I have officiated on it and talked to players that play on turf fields. They love it. Love it. Mosinee is doing whatever they want against Ashland. They are inside the 5 at the goal line. That's about to be a 4-touchdown game halfway through the second quarter. What's the score of the Stratford? You know what? I can just look at this myself. like, why am I asking you? I was looking up Assumption score. I'm interested in the Stratford game.
Well, there's a great way to find out.
In Edgar games, yeah. I mean, if there was a ticker on the screen where we could see other games on the network. People could come on down to the studio. We'll be happy to have you. You can have a piece of chicken.
Yeah, we'll hand out some chicken, some celery, Nasonville dairy cheese curds.
Mm-hmm.
Mosinee scores. So they're going to go up 27-0. So I just changed it. Mosinee has a boys soccer team, and the extra point is good. I'm telling you, that's very simple theory.
What do you think about purple jerseys and gray pants?
It's a bold move.
Yeah.
It's been that way for those folks for a while.
Yep. I mean, usually you want to use your off color for pants, right? But maybe Mosinee doesn't have another color besides white, and you don't want to wear white at home. But if they had yellow, like Ashland at home, they must wear like purple and yellow pants. I don't know. Ashland used to be really good at football. Really good. In the late 80s, early 90s, excellent football school. Many state championships.
Eau Claire Memorial in the red zone is a 3rd and 1 for the Abes. They go Wildcat, and boy, I'll tell you, they didn't get much. They did not get much. 4 minutes left in the first half, still scoreless at Carson Park. It is 1st and goal. So 1st and goal for the Old Abes as they are hosting the number 2 New Richmond Tigers. So that one shaping up to be a dandy early. First half. They go quick, and the Abes are in. Abe's are in. So, Marshfield joins that conference next year. And Marshfield really struggled against New Richmond. You really struggled. And I know everything changes year to year. You get a new crop of kids, freshmen come in, seniors go out. Things can change quickly. But as I just compare and contrast, in this moment, I know some of those Valley teams perhaps are thinking, if we didn't have to play Kimberly and Fond du Lac and, et cetera, maybe it'd be a better situation for our kids. I don't know.
So
Memorial has a boys soccer team. Extra point is good.
nice.
I'll say that all year long.
It's pretty true. Not 100% of the time, because sometimes you still miss extra points, but in high school, 85 to 90%.
High school kids miss free throws. They miss whatever's.
Yeah.
They throw a ball 10 feet over the catcher's head in baseball.
Zaleski Sports Male Athlete of the Year, Connor Kroc, won his first collegiate golf tournament.
Imagine that, right? I mean, the kid's just a winner.
Yeah.
He's just a winner.
So I assume he's not playing football
No.
if he's golfing. Long term, yeah, he's fantastic at both. But golf is a life sport. You can golf forever.
Yeah, 70, 80 years old, guys are out there golfing.
Last week in golf league, I golfed against a 91-year-old man.
And you're golfing one-legged, just as an example.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
91 years old, and I told him, and he had a pretty good swing. I said, first of all, I hope I'm alive at 91. But
First things first.
yeah, but seeing you out here and swinging the club and having fun with the guys, like I envy that. Like that's what I hope I am in X number of years. He's literally double my age, and he's out there having fun and talking about guy things on the golf course.
So, Dan, the Amherst Falcons are interesting to me this year because I don't know what to make of them. I think I've sorted out most other teams as the Raiders are going to go 70 yards for a touchdown.
We had 2 long touchdowns.
So they're currently tied at 12. Extra point pending for Hudson over River Falls in River Falls. Figured out most of this already. I was looking forward to tonight because any little tiny things I think I don't know, I'll know those tonight. Except for Amherst. I don't think either way I won't know much. 3rd and goal for the Shackton Chiefs, and they are stood up. So 7:38 left to play in the half. Amherst leads 7-0.
The Shackton quarterback looks like he's about 6'3".
He's a tall dude, isn't he?
He's big.
Tall dude. I don't know what to make of the Amherst Falcons.
Yeah, I mean,
And am I considering too much of the last 10 years? Probably.
if
I shouldn't do that.
Amherst has, they're gonna kick a field goal here. If
Shackton does not have a boys soccer team.
ooh,
Yeah, so this will be,
I think the quarterback might be kicking actually.
well, we'll find out. So when he comes out, no, he's holding. A left-footed kicker.
Oh, he had a lot on.
So,
No.
wide left. Wide left. So no soccer team, and he's left-footed. He was bound to miss it. We mentioned this last week. Dark here, daylight in River Falls. Now, River
Yeah.
Falls is all the way over
Right.
on the St. Croix River.
Yeah,
So you can't get any further west and still be in Wisconsin, the River Falls.
we're losing 3 minutes of daylight every day.
That sucks.
It's awful.
It sucks. It's cold outside. I got pants on.
Yeah, I put jeans on for the first time since May today.
Oh, it's horrible. This is a horrible way to live, people.
It feels weird.
Yeah.
You don't wear pants for months and months and months, and you put pants on. You're like, what is this?
I was going to wear pants to volleyball last night, so here's a kind of a funny story, I guess. Hudson also missed the extra point. high school football, gang, high school football. I was going to wear pants last night, volleyball. It was Columbus hosting Stratford, Columbus 3-0 sweep over the Stratford Tigers, who look to be the best volleyball team in the Maryland South, so you can make your conclusions there.
Stratford came back to beat Newman.
Yeah. I was going to wear pants because it was, like, it could have snowed last night. It seemed so cold. So I brought pants with me. I went to the YMCA before, so I don't wear pants at the Y. That seems like something people shouldn't do. And it was still so hot in the gym. I was so relieved of it. and I couldn't put the pants on. I would have started sweating because I just got done with the Y and doing some other things in the gym. So the cold air, fortunately, hadn't infiltrated the field outside Columbus Catholic last night. It did today though. I was back today, and it's over. Winter is coming. Winter might be here. Wisconsin Rapids in the red zone, 4th and goal. How many times this year, Red Raiders? How many times? 4th and goal.
He doesn't look like he has it. There's no sign.
Now it is, touchdown.
Okay, just barely.
I mean, I breathe a sigh of relief. I can't imagine Tony Viola right now, coach for the Red Raiders. Well, how relieved he is that ball got into the end zone.
It was really close. I mean, we don't
He
have.
spun twice.
Yeah, we don't have a good angle, but
He spun twice. Probably not a replay there tonight. Good effort. I don't know who the running back was, but great effort. And Wisconsin Rapids has their first lead of a football game in 2023. And they're on the road. Stevens Point was way
Blocked.
offside on the, well, hold on though.
I don't see a flag.
Let me rewind it for you. And people at home are watching this too, so check this out. Watch the guy coming off the end here. Come on. Well, they didn't see it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the one that blocked it, but
No,
still.
But he affected, I mean, you've got rules for a reason, and somebody else inside of him offensively got nervous, and that the whole chain of events perhaps got unwound.
I mean, he was only over by a yard or two. After one quarter in Wausau, Ray Reinick, 133 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, 14-0.
Wow.
He might have 300 tonight.
Wow. All right, well, after Wausau East wins its first game of the year in week 1, the bloom was off that rose for the Lumberjacks. They may not win the rest of the year.
Well, probably won't be against West. Bad snap on the punt. That was actually the Amherst punter. Really athletic play. Oh.
Muff punt, Falcons recover. There was no reason to touch that ball. That's exactly
No.
what the coach is going to tell him.
No, so Amherst punting to Shiocton. The punt isn't even to midfield, and it's bouncing back towards Amherst. And the Shiocton kid decided to try to pick it up, and it looked like he kicked it. He didn't even touch it with his hands, I don't think.
Ball was already moving favorably for his Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it's high school football.
It's high school
right? So
football.
coach,
Yeah.
on Monday, probably film, maybe they go in on Sunday nights. Each team's a little bit different, but film review in the next 48 hours, and everybody on the team will learn using what happened there to never do that again. And then for kids that are fortunate enough to go on to college or more, they'll always know that. That's how they learn.
Yep.
That's how they learn. River Falls in the red zone. I haven't checked on my ghosts in a while. Better check on them too.
Oh. Spash a long one.
Ash going to return the kickoff for a touchdown.
Is it a kick?
Oh! Well, Dan, you asked a great question. No, first play after the touchdown. First play after.
Didn't cover him.
Wide open. That's the kid who guaranteed conference. So he better run.
I can't believe he didn't make it. He had a 10-yard head start.
Yeah. Well, just not quite fast enough. Spash in the red zone. They're coming right back. 9-7 Wisconsin Rapids on the road, leading Spash. Kaukauna 13, Neenah 2. Neenah have been stuck on 2. They were gifted 2, and that's all they've been able to muster. Backwards pass on the top of the screen, that goes out of bounds. They'll lose. Amherst will lose about 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd and long upcoming.
Well, Rapids might have only had their lead for 2 or 3 plays here.
Yeah. Yeah. Wide open to River Falls, the
2-point conversion.
Wildcats. Oh, that was 2-point conversion. So
Yep.
Wildcats go up 8, right? 20-12.
Should be.
He's wide open.
Yeah.
All right, 1st and goal for the Spanish Panthers.
New Richmond scored.
All right.
Tied with Memorial.
Okay.
Your Abes.
My Abe's. Yeah, I'll still claim them.
Yeah.
They failed me in week 2, but I'll claim them.
You claimed the Huskies last week.
I rode with the Huskies. Yep.
Yeah.
And they were good to me. Yeah. Okay, well, run play for Spash on 1st and goal got bottled up.
They're trying to run clock probably.
Yeah, maybe. Minute 40 left. Just, yeah, if we walked down the street, we could see the stadium lights from here.
Especially with the leaves starting to fall.
Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
Already on the golf course, there are leaves on the course, and deep fall, after the leaves fall, it is really hard to play golf.
Yeah.
You can't find your ball.
Yeah.
You lose your ball in the fairway. You have to check under the leaves. Unless they're sweeping it or whatever, but
Leaves in my driveway, laying on the ground. Smash Panthers score. So Panthers touchdown.
Yep.
Second and goal.
just a halfback sweep.
Yep. That's all it was. All it was. And they go right. So you said a couple plays, 3 plays.
Yeah.
All it took. So Smash leads 13-9, extra point pending. Amherst still with the ball. They're at the Cheyenne 33. I'm glad I turned this game on because I do want to know more about these Falcons. It's a team we carry almost every week, and it's a team I know the least about.
Yeah, and a really good town, really passionate
Oh, yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love,
all sports. They
love
stand
their
for all of
sports.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, and we like that. We like that a lot. Yep, saw the replay there of that River Falls touchdown. Nice reach over the goal line.
Menominee up 14-0 on Chi-High.
Okay.
That's not a surprise. Menominee's good this year.
Menominee Mustangs.
Yeah. I told you my story about Menominee last week. How they came out is we don't recognize individual achievement. Menominee, and they just run across the field, and us looking at each other like, yeah, we're going to be in trouble today, I think. It's level 2 game. We're in trouble.
Cameron River Falls really likes to shove the track.
That's where the state track meet is, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
No, lacrosse.
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse, yeah. They
Close.
almost look the same.
Close.
It's a red track
Yeah.
at both places.
Which is rare in high school.
Red?
Yeah.
I like that. In Shackland, they got a fire, so they got the stadium butts up to residential neighborhood. So they got folks in the backyard with a fire. It's known almost worldwide. They do that in Edgar.
For sure.
Yeah, and that is a couple of coolers full of beer, fire, watching a football game from my backyard in Edgar.
Maybe we should have a level 1 broadcast from the
From the fire
bonfire.
pit? Why not?
It would be the only warm place there.
I mean, we're already going to go to Kakana, Kimberly, and sit in the end zone for homecoming. So why not?
Do you think we'll be part of the ceremony at halftime?
I think we should be, and I can arrange for that. I know exactly who to ask, and the answer would be yes if we were to ask. Got a horrible glare from the Shackton press box.
Yeah.
Probably one of those situations where they don't allow you to take the windows out, and the PA guy who we see, and that's really all we see on the screen, has got to have the lights on. Horrendous.
I know you're trying to get on the horse in Kakana
That'd be in 2 weeks, yep.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I don't know. I think I'm walking that back. Those horses are just so dangerous. I don't think that's a good spot for me. I'll pet the horse, though. I'll pet the horse. That'd be fine.
Do you know what the horse's name is? I hope it's Buttons or something.
Patches. Patches the horse. Oh, man. Yeah, blanket. Amherst dragging Chiefs into the end zone.
Teammates pushing him from behind. Used to be illegal.
Used to be, not anymore. They call that leverage, right? Or no, that's when you're jumping over somebody.
Yeah.
Timeout. So they got 40 seconds or so to play in Shackton. Amherst 7-0. And this is a Shackton team that only able to score once in Spencer last week. So a Shackton team that has struggled. And there's Amherst 7-0. They got the Hudson Raider just moving guys out of the way.
Yeah.
Just swiping them out of the way.
Yeah. That looked like that Skittles man run. in the playoff game. Are we just throwing guys to the ground?
DC Everest 14, Marshfield nothing at halftime in Schofield. Yeah, it'll be a long year for the Tigers, it looks like. Long year for the Tigers. My Tigers. It's been a long year already. Speaking as a fan. It's been a long year. I'm sure they know things that I don't know. And they've got some hope. But I'm struggling. Halftime in Nina? Question mark? Yes. So Kakana 13, Nina 2 at the half.
Nina's highly ranked, right?
Well, I mean, probably. Let's look. I had it up just a minute ago. I need to just keep it on that page.
Amherst is in. 13-0. Extra point pending. They do have a kicker. We know that.
All right, so 53 seconds. This is first and goal. Yeah, first and goal.
Yeah. Hudson has had a lot of big plays tonight. River Falls kind of grinds it out. Hudson comes back with explosive plays. I think that if Hudson loses this game, and I don't know that much about Big Rivers football, I'm not going to pretend to, but knowing who Hudson is and how much accolades they were given early on in the season, being 2-2 and a conference loss to River Falls would have to be disappointing to Hudson fans.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially after losing over here at Kirky.
Yeah. Yeah. Long bus ride plus, one of their buddies got injured in that game. So fade for the 2-point conversion is good.
Man, you don't see the fade work a whole lot.
Not at the high school level. No. But here we are, 20-0, right before the half. So Hudson responds. It's just not the same Hudson team we saw 2 weeks ago over here. Just not the same team. All right, you asked about Nina. Nina ranked number 5. I'm going to keep my rankings open this time.
And Kakana?
Because I kept them open. Kakana's in Division 2, number 3.
Okay.
Two good teams.
Two good teams. Yep.
Yep, 2 good football teams.
The differences in the divisions matter a lot less, I think, because a lot of these teams border division lines.
Yeah, and in conference you're playing like they are now, right? Nina's a 1 or Division 1, Kakana's a 2, and you get to play each other, and that helps, and it makes those lines blur.
Yeah. So not trying to project anything.
Yeah, so Amherst scored.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're going for 2 instead of kicking, because they have not been stopped on the ground. This time they do.
This time they do, but they do
Yeah.
have a boys soccer team. All right.
Yeah. So Valley Conference,
Mhm.
right? It looks like there's a split, 4-4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how the playoffs generally shake out, right? Because you have to have a winning record to make the playoffs. And you play 7 games, so
Mhm.
either 3 or 4 make it. Probably 4 make it, 4 don't, right? There's probably some math that says
Normal
that,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
But West is in that top tier.
Mhm.
Everest is in that top tier.
Yep.
Spash is probably in that top tier.
Looks like it as of now.
Yeah. Who's that 4th team? West,
Yeah.
Everest, Spash.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. They don't have a win, but it's probably Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah, the Appleton teams aren't good this
Not
year.
this year. No, not
Yeah.
this year. So,
So it's got to be Rapids or Marshfield.
yeah. And either, Marshall does have a win against Wausau East. From what I see right now, it's Wisconsin Rapids. And they're 0-3. And they're in the top half. Top half.
Hudson thinks they got the ball back.
But this year could be that anomaly, Dan, where only 3 teams make the playoffs.
It could be.
In the Valley. Could be a very, once in every 15-year deal. Because if Wisconsin Rapids loses tonight, we're just at halftime, so who knows, right? But if they lose tonight, they're 0-4. They've got to win out.
Yeah.
And that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Really tough.
So if a conference has 3 really good teams, right? And I'm not saying that's even the Valley this year.
Yeah,
Um,
theoretically.
Yeah. Those other 5 schools have 3 losses built in. So they have to win the other 4. So if there's 3 good teams, you're going to get, I mean, somebody has to win some of those games, but
Yeah, and for that, I think the other part of that math is you probably had to win one of your non-conference games, maybe for that 4th or 5th win.
for tie breaks, because
Right, and Wisconsin Rapids didn't.
yeah,
Yeah, now going back to actual versus hypothetical. Wisconsin Rapids, if they don't win tonight, they are up against it.
must be homecoming tonight.
They are up against it. In River Falls?
They're bringing out Thrones.
Oh, that's early homecoming.
Would be.
Week 4, early.
One of
Our
the
homecoming in Kakon is week 8.
yeah, one of our years of officiating, we had like 4 or 5 homecomings in a row, and that's just bad luck. First of all,
Do they give
because
extra time at half?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
they get like an extra 10, 15 minutes. Like it's
Oh,
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's rough.
Plus, they have to run you through like what's going to happen. There's stuff beforehand. The football players are announced as part of the court at halftime,
Right.
and you know, I mean, it's really special for the kids. There's no doubt. Like homecoming's awesome. Big proponent of it. Wittenberg,
Wittenberg will win the game tonight over Spencer Columbus.
and they will be the first ones done, I bet. Not that was a poll this week.
Was not this week.
41-0. Chunk of change left in the second half yet.
And Chargers with the ball.
Yeah.
They may get to 50 before halftime.
Yeah, I mean, this conference is down to Wittenberg and Stratford, isn't it? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, probably, right? If Amherst were to clip one of the two, then it's back to a 3-way race.
And Stratford already pushed around
They already
Amherst
beat Amherst last week.
week.
Yeah. Let's check in. Amherst Manoa didn't figure to be much of a game. I'm sorry. So you had got your homecomings.
Yeah, and just having to like every week doing this, it adds an extra half an hour to your night.
Yeah, you get paid, of course, for another half hour of being there.
You don't. Yeah, you just get your check, and even each school pays the officials different amounts.
Right.
I think it's by conference.
By conference, but they're
Yeah.
all different.
They're all different. Sometimes you would make $60. Sometimes you get $90. And then if you were to officiate a playoff game, that comes from the WIAA, and it's like $40. Like you get paid almost half of a normal game check to officiate the playoffs, which is when you want your best officials to be there. Now, you don't officiate for money, first and foremost, because if that's the case, you should like your job. I will say that.
Yeah.
You don't officiate for the money. You officiate to help out the kids and be part of something. And if you're on the fence on officiating football, it's probably the best sport to do it. Because there's a lot of players. You're not by the fans and parents. I love fans. I love parents. But when there's a controversial call made, they are not your friends.
It's just nice having separation.
Yeah. Yeah, and on a football field, especially if... Now, I was always on the home sideline, which is obviously next to the bleachers.
Yep.
You're still far enough away where you don't hear people yelling at you. Unless you listen for it, then you can probably hear
Yeah,
it.
right. If yeah, for sure. You can hear anything you want to hear.
Yeah. On the far side of the field, you're by yourself. Like there's nobody that is going to yell anything to you that...
Right. So we're looking at a university here, and they've got some bleachers, but they're only 20 yards long. Most places you went had no bleachers on the other side.
No, there's some places I went that barely had bleachers on the home side,
Right.
like Newman,
Right.
who lost again. Bad.
Well, yeah, it's not good
0-2. They go to Wabeno, I think, tonight or tomorrow.
tonight. The Cardinals tonight. Of course, all home games for the Cardinals on Zaleski Sports this year, which makes almost everybody in Wausau happy. One or two guys that aren't.
I think I could guess one of them.
That's probably the case everywhere, though.
Yeah, probably.
He makes it known, though. When you call attention to yourself, it doesn't really help you. I don't really care. 42-0, Stratford over Manawa.
Yeah, Stratford's really going to be with Wittenberg on fastest game tonight.
This guy's just mowing wolves down as he runs.
He's just throwing them around.
You don't see wolves get thrown around, really.
Not really.
It's Kohler Kilty. Big Sis Macy Kilty coming up. Oh boy, I should look. I think it's in the next month or so. Female wrestler, Olympic qualifying coming up.
Ooh.
Yep, and she was favored to make the Olympics 4 years ago. Broke her arm 2 matches before the Olympic qualifier.
Stratford is at the time run out.
Maybe didn't have any timeouts left. Well, or did they get a timeout call? They might have got the timeout, Dan. It looks like they were granted the timeout, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like they were granted the timeout. We know the white hat there. There he is, Mr. Paul Juglinski, everybody.
And
It's
there's-
live on Stratford Manawa, Zaleski Sports.
Yeah, so
Again, Manawa called the timeout. That's interesting.
I have lots of friends on this officiating staff here.
Yep. Speaking of, but you're officiating.
They have had, this is their 4th straight game where it's a lot to 0. They haven't officiated a game this year where the losing team has scored. And I said, who comes up with this schedule? Like, we just take the games. We just take whoever asks us first, basically.
Yeah.
It's a free-for-all between the ADs on trying to book these officials.
Yeah. He's got that certain gait. You know right away who it is.
Yeah. Paltz is somewhere here. Coach Paltz.
Well, I should be able to pick him out. He must be on the other side.
For us, he was the back
I can see
judge,
yeah, but that's not
but
him.
that's not
now.
him.
So he must be on the other side. So yeah, kind of an all-star crew. Kind of.
Yeah.
Gramps? That's not Gramps though, is it?
No.
Did Gramps work with you?
He did, but he's not doing very well.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we need prayers up for Gramps.
Okay. All right. Well, one of the best mini golfers I know. I don't know. I enjoy playing mini golf with him.
Yeah, he great guy. I golfed with him right before our fantasy football draft, so it would have been 2-3 weeks ago. And it sounds like he's taken a turn for the worse since I saw him. So
That's too bad.
yeah.
Well, he's a fighter though.
Yep.
That I do know. So some sort of alumni night at Gerke. Maybe what we'll do, Dan, is we'll get a thing. We'll open the door next week, and we'll just be able to hear the folks that we can recognize. There's our friends out there. Again, yeah, come on down, man.
Moving
Get a
bar to bar
chance.
out here.
Yeah. Well, what we'd like to do is take a picture with you, and so come on down and just kind of hover around out there, and then we'll wave you in. You come in here and have a piece of chicken, and we'll do a photo with you.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Your Huskies are up 20-0 at Superior.
Good. The Galloping go 16-2. So, Dan, here's what I'll say. I'm happy that these folks are involved in high school sports. The commentators, Joey D and Gary Brulowski. Who goes by Joey D anymore?
I like that. It's like a DJ name.
Yeah, it's kind of Joey.
Joey D and
Kinda
Gary
Joey-
Brulowski.
It's kind of Joey dumb though too. Just say your name. But, so I'm happy they're doing it. There's definitely some quality differences here,
There are.
but I'm happy they're doing it.
Joey D and Gary Brulowski on the ride home.
PM's on 1570. Yeah, I used to have that thing back in the day.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah. And we couldn't be there today, so glad that it's worked
Yeah,
out.
for sure.
Especially for the folks from Kakana. We've not met a nicer group of people in a long time. New to us, and Kakana, and we're working it out, right? We're in the trenches. We're got mud on our heels and all kinds of things, and we're attempting to figure out some long-term multi-sports solutions there with the folks. So if you are a play-by-play talent in the Fox Valley, we are looking for you. But good things happening with the Ghosts. Again, Dan and I will be there in 2 weeks. And then we'll be there for the homecoming week 8 where we're going to sit in the end zone. And like, in the end zone. Like, we'll be right on the K. That would be amazing. We got the band on the field, River Falls, got a great looking marching band. Everybody's pretty much at halftime here.
I mean, it has to be homecoming, unless those are just banners. They look like thrones when they were bringing them out there.
Unless it's some sort of a theme for something else, but why would it be something else? If you're going to bring out thrones, you put your homecoming court out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you handle that. What do you think about the chicken nuggets?
I like them.
Yeah, I do too. I don't know what to do about that place though, business-wise, but I do go there often, especially during the NFL season. Nice place to sit down and have some drinks and some chicken.
They are a national chain. We won't say who it is. A national chain.
Yeah, they are. So the Cowboys get on TV without me having to pay for it 14 of the 17 games a year, or thereabouts. And I'll go to a couple of games a year. So you kind of round it out. It's like twice a year I need to go somewhere else to watch. I used to be an NFL Sunday ticket, membership club card holder. I mean, I was like 20 straight years. But there's so many other ways to watch these games now
Mm-hmm.
that, and YouTube TV's got the contract now, and they're charging, I think, more than what AT&T was charging, or DirecTV is the same thing. DirecTV.
YouTube TV is pretty expensive.
Yeah, and
Used to be like 50, 55. Now it's like 90 or something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And then the $400 or $500 for the Sunday tickets for me to watch 2 games, just not enough. I get Scott Hansen on the NFL's Red Zone channel,
Which is fantastic.
Well, it is, but Scott's probably watching this. He's learning a lot from what we're doing here. He's going to implement some of our good things on his show on Sunday. You watch, you'll see.
Who's the other guy? Who's the other Red Zone guy? Because there's 2.
Well, there was one before him, Andrew Siciliano.
I think he still does it.
You think he does? There's 2
Yeah,
channels?
yeah. I think there's 2 of them.
Huh. Well, we always called Siciliano Big Ears because he had.
Your big ears.
He
Chris
had-
Hansen's a professional.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've said this, Scott Hansen. I've said this a lot.
Scott Hansen, yeah.
He's a little too New York for me. Whatever, right? That's where the NFL front office is. So whatever.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He looks the part.
Yeah,
He likes to have
I'd be
fun.
friends with him, and the first thing I tell him is he's got to lose a little bit of the New York. Just a little bit. I like going to New York City. I've had fun every time when I've been there.
It's a lineman. Do you think that?
We're watching the Hard Knocks episode right
Yeah.
now. Dan and I are. Watch it on YouTube at Zaleski Sports.
Do you think Pacelli? Anybody on Pacelli watched this?
Oh, yeah.
This Hard Knocks?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Because these are not highlights for Pacelli. These are
No.
highlights for the
Well, you scored
Wildcats.
0, so there won't be any highlights. The referees have shorts on though. If I didn't mention it last week, F- for those guys because it wasn't really hot last week. Why do they have shorts on? Anyway, Pacelli was a Hard Knocks team 2 years ago. So there are freshmen and sophomores from that season we had with them.
Yeah.
That are juniors and seniors now. So I absolutely watched. And it's a fun look. I guess I should, now that you brought it up, I'll give the 10-second commercial on the Hard Knocks. Big thanks to Edgar, Coach Strike, Coach Sims, and all the rest of the people there. They let us in to practice, to the locker room, to the coach's room, to the meeting rooms, to the film study. On the bus, Trevor was on the bus 2 weeks ago. I think he's on the bus. No, they're home. He's going to alumni night at the bowling alley afterwards to get footage. They let us, it's carte blanche. We go wherever we want to go, and you get a really fun look at what is the life of a high school football player. And that's just through these first 5 episodes. And then episodes 6, 7, 8, and 9, each of those episodes will feature one student athlete. And it'll feature their entire day from the time they wake up on game day
I like it.
until the time they go to bed, plus practice and locker room and everything else. And you really get to see the life of a high school football athlete. And if you did play football, it's changed. That life has changed. And if you didn't play football or high school sports when you were a kid, you need to understand what they go through to to be a student athlete and what it is to represent your town and your school and your friends and everything that goes along with it. Dan and I were student athletes, and so we could tell you the whole thing. But watch this series really lets you in on the whole thing. So watch it. It's free.
It's really
Free
good
to
too.
watch. Thank you, Dan.
It's really good.
Yeah, Trevor does a nice job with it.
All right, I have an update from Medford, Lakeland Medford. This can be a surprise.
T-Bird scored.
Lakeland is on the board.
Okay.
They trail 36-6.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. I mean, they scored, right? So good.
Tough year in Minocqua.
Really tough year. Really tough year. And in the end, I'm happy we didn't go last week. 27-0 Little Chute over Wapaka at the half. Wapaka had a monster game last week against Denmark.
Little Chute's good though.
But their Little Chute is ranked number 12. So essentially honorable mention team number 2, but ranked number 12.
Yeah.
And Wapaka, I mean, they laid it on Denmark. Xander, I forget the Pittman. The young man's name, he had 13 carries, 6 touchdowns, and over 300 yards rushing last week.
That's a pretty good night.
Comets have come back to earth, which is usually a bad thing for a Comet.
I get what you're doing. I like it.
The flame has been extinguished with the Comets. The ice has fallen off. Comets are usually ice, right?
A lot of halftime going on.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm doing a quick check here. We may be back in Stevens Point. Yep. So Stevens Point about to kick off to Wisconsin Rapids. Number 9 Splash Panthers lead the Rapids Red Raiders 14-9, and a bunch of comments on here. I got to read through these. Yeah. Okay. Darren Mosher, you need to settle down on our chat box, or I'm going to kick you right off there. I can do that with just.
That's on the Spash game?
Yeah, and that's fine. Listen, I mean, come on there and chat.
Passionate fans.
Have a good time. Have a good time. But there's just that's just it. Be good out there. Yeah, we had turned that off during the winter and the spring, somewhat because of the people, but mostly because the bots got in there. And I mean, I can say this. I don't think there's anybody that would tell me I can't, because you can look back and see it. The bots would come on there and they would say, "Come have sex with me on this channel." Well, I can't have that.
No.
So we had to shut it off, and it was YouTube. They had communicated with us and others, but they communicated with us that to fend off the bots, so they had created a new members mode, and so you could set the pricing to be a member. And so we set it at $1.99. And so for $2 a month, you could comment on any of the games that you wanted. If you wanted to say so-and-so sucked, we just asked you to pay $1.99 to do it. And people are enjoying that. We've got to turn back on now, but we'll see.
Be good humans. Be a good human.
We're monitoring the situation.
That's good.
It's been pretty good, and we haven't seen the bots, so maybe YouTube got those cleaned up. But now the bots are crazy on Facebook. So you whack-a-mole. You hit one over here, another one pops up over there. Mark Zuckerberg's got all kinds of troubles right now, so he probably didn't care about the bots.
Yeah, he's getting ready for a fight.
Well, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know that it was ever really going to happen. He said it would, though. Here, more of our friends out here. Yeah.
So it's halftime at all these games, kind of slow right now.
Yep, just Stevens Point back. Yep.
What has happened on Zaleski Sports this week? Volleyball, soccer?
Yeah, well, yes, to both. What happened last night, I was at Stratford at Columbus Volleyball. I think I mentioned it earlier. Big Columbus 3-0 win. Early in the season for volleyball as well. Plus they play so many Saturday events that you don't ever get to see these teams until they show up back in their school. Most teams only have 5 home games for volleyball. I don't like it at all. And why would I?
Does the Valley
game somewhere else?
Does the Valley play a home and home, or is it just once against everyone?
No, home and home. And most conferences do.
Okay.
Most do. So you'll play everybody at home, and then that's your home schedule.
Okay.
Well, you know what though? That's not true either, because the Valley plays a conference Saturday invite for some of their conference games. So that's not always true either. It's a messed up deal. But what happened there, Dan, this is not really the question you asked me, but is these travel teams, they always play on Saturday because that's how they're arranged. And volleyball people got to look at it and said, you know what, we get to play 5-6 games every Saturday. Just knock them out once a week. We'll play our conference games at home, that's fine. But we're in this rhythm of playing every Saturday, which is good, except you take all the fun out of it. Because the classmates don't get to see their classmates play. People in town don't get to see the kids play. School administration doesn't get to see the kids play. Mom and dad, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So don't like it. Obviously, don't like it. And that's somewhat of a new development. Every year it's been more and more Saturdays. Spash Panthers are going to start the second half with a touchdown. So they go on about a 5-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. Yeah. All right, well.
We have guys yelling touchdown outside of our window.
Oh, excellent. Well, they know. They know. I'll let you take over the ship here. I'm going to send a quick text to somebody.
My mouth is full of chicken right now.
Same. Hey guys, how's it going? Man, I tell you, Dan, we're going to get people in here. You just watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be sorry I ever said come on in.
Okay, so in the Valley, Wausau West leads. If that holds, 2-0. Everest, last time we checked, Everest was in the lead. They would be 2-0.
Okay.
Spash is taking care of business. Opened up a bigger lead on Rapids. They'd be 2-0.
Okay.
Rapids would be 0-2. East would be 0-2. Marshfield, do they have a win?
Marshall does not.
So they'd be...
Oh, they do. They have beat East. Sorry, they do have a win.
Okay, so Marshfield would be that fourth place team,
Yep.
tied with... The two Appleton teams play each other tonight, so one of those teams will get a win, I think.
Most likely.
Somebody's got to win. So just looking at it, already a little bit of separation. There's what you'd expect after 2 games, but the Wausau teams are looking pretty good. We know that West plays Everest in week 9, the last game of the year. So I'm hoping that both those teams are undefeated going into week 9, because that'd be really exciting.
It'd be a game we would go to.
Yeah.
Like me and you.
Yeah.
So let's make it happen.
So that would be something to look forward to. We don't really cheer for anybody here.
No.
Jason cheers for his Marshfield Tigers, but
Yeah, and then I kind of mix around between Kakana and the Eau Claire schools. And
you have a lot of favorites.
I mean Marshfield. I mean that's where I went to high school.
For
So
sure.
that's how I roll. And I get a little bit wrapped up in it sometimes. Barb is asking for Stratford. Barb, you go to YouTube and you type in Stratford Manawa football, and you'll find out Stratford is winning 42-0.
Yeah, you better turn over quick, because that game's got half an hour left in it.
Yep. Yeah, running clock. We should maybe go through the running clock games for folks.
We have not had an Edgar score yet tonight.
Well, I was going to give one before halftime, and then we started talking about something else, but it's a big number. Let's see here. Tom King on the call. 36-0, so running clock and Edgar. Running clock will be in Manawa. Probably Pittsville. Let's look. We turned that game off in the first quarter. Yeah, running clock in Pittsville, 36-0, but just enough. You need 36, so running clock there. Little shoot, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion away from running clock.
I bet you they would go for it.
I mean, maybe, right? Just for everybody's benefit. Wittenberg at running clock. So this night, Dan, is somewhat panning out like we thought. Mosney running clock.
Yeah, so the bigger schools generally try to keep it. They're usually a little bit closer.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked about this earlier in the day. Week 4, week 5, week 6, the amount of really good games drops, right?
Yeah, because you're going through your conference schedule, and there is a lot of discrepancy in some conferences.
Yeah. And if you think about a typical conference, there's only going to be 2 or 3 good games every year, right? either first is playing second place or second's third or first against third. There's only, I mean, this isn't every conference, but most conferences will have 3 good teams,
Yep.
right? And so they're going to play each other.
Three
And
teams that can compete. Right?
yeah. Now, some of the other teams are equally matched, and they're going to be good games to watch, score-wise, to be close.
Yeah. If the scoreboard is important to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But generally, you're going to see Stratford. They have Manu on the schedule. It's going to be a blowout. Rosholt has to go to Edgar. That's going to be a blowout. That's a crossover game too, I think.
Yes.
Right. So that's not even a team that Rosholt, not even Rosholt's conference that they have to play. So it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it will. In all conferences statewide.
Yep. Edgar's got a big one next week. We haven't talked next week at all.
Edgar Colby.
Edgar Colby. That is the de facto conference
I would
championship.
think so, unless there's something I don't know about Auburndale or
Pittsville.
Pittsville, but I think I know enough about Edgar that I agree with that statement. That's the game.
Going to be a good one.
You know?
Over in Colby, nice
Colby.
Facility.
In Colby.
Hudson
ripped
again.
off a big touchdown here. Where were these points 2 weeks ago? The Raiders wonder.
They only needed one more touchdown.
Yeah, and had lots of opportunities for it. Stevens Point had to have a big defensive stand at the end of that game.
Yeah,
So Hudson, that was probably a 50-yard touchdown.
at least. Yeah.
So up by 6, 26-20, extra point pending, 11-11 left in the third, early in the third. So Edgar Colby.
Colby has owned that game.
Yeah, they won last year, and the last 2 years for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, 2 years ago, Colby were state champions. So
I called that game.
you did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and Jim Hagan, coach for the Colby Hornets, one of the best football coaches in the area.
Yep.
He's always got his team ready to go. You lose a group of seniors every year, so on and so forth, and he's always got them right back, right where he wants them. One of the nicest dudes around too is Coach Jim Hagan. So it'll be a really good game to watch, and we may not have the quad box next week. It just may be us talking about Edgar Colby. Although they've already got Tom King talking about it, so maybe we'll do something else. But it's a good one. It's a good one for sure.
Do you think Colby will let us go in their end zone?
Near it.
Near it.
Near it.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of action in the end zone. It might be pretty safe.
You're exactly right.
It is going to be 2 teams that just pound the ball on the ground. And that's how Colby's beat Edgar the last 2 years. Just controlling the trenches.
Yeah, I know there's been some disappointed Wildcats. I remember last year's game in particular. They were really disappointed because they thought they were going to be able to get Colby be able to figure it out. It just didn't work out that way.
Yeah. I remember 2 years ago, Colby had 2 monster running backs. But just the offensive line just towered over the Wildcat defensive line. And you felt like Edgar was on the ropes the entire game.
Yeah.
And Edgar had kind of a fluky touchdown in that one to pull to within 6, I think it was. Mm-hmm. It was a tipped play on like a 4th and goal or 4th and 20 from the 25 or something. A tip pass and an unbelievable play in the end zone. And Colby put the pedal down. They just ran it for 10 yards of carry. That's what Colby does. I don't know much about Colby. I have not seen them this year. I know they were on the network week 1.
Week 2 we had them
Week
against
2?
Spencer Columbus.
And a laugher, yeah.
Turned out.
But, yeah, I mean, Auburndale is going to have something to say about the conference. Pittsville will probably have something to say about it. But it just seems to me, watching the teams here, that Edgar Colby are probably a step above.
Steve Maves gives us a stat for tonight. 10 games on the network, 8 are shutouts. And it's about what we expected.
High school football.
Yeah, Dan and I, we don't really prepare for this show, but we do talk during the afternoon, and this is kind of how we expected things to go. So a quick note, it's 8:30. If the games continue to go like they have, there's a chance that Dan and I probably shut it down the next 30, 45 minutes. Because, well, I mean, what are we going to talk about? A bunch of running clock games. So just a note, all right? Viewership note. Write that down somewhere.
Unless Rapids and Marshfield make a game out
Yeah,
of
that's what I'm
holidays.
keeping an eye on
Yeah.
right now. Wisconsin Rapids had to punt, and so Stevens Point with the ball second time in the second half. I don't know if Marshfield Everest are back on second half. Still 14-0 DC Everest. Kaukauna 16-9. You got Caw and Knee.
Yeah.
Like I said, I give them some credit for trying out the equipment and attempting to figure it out over there. 10-point lead though for the Ghosts. So.
I'm a little disappointed in your Tigers. I thought that.
Yeah, I am too.
That
You're not the only one.
I didn't think Everest was a lot better than Marshfield.
14 points better right now. But yeah, offensively, the Tigers, Coach Denny Gadel, he's an offensive guy. So, you know, when your O coordinator is your head coach and your offensive expert and the whole works, you figure you're going to get a little bit more out of it. And they just haven't been able to figure that part of the game out yet. Defense has been pretty good for the Tigers.
Yeah.
It's been a good defensive unit. But just offensively, just not been able to figure it out yet in 2023. So, Smash Panthers are looking to figure it out. So again, they've got the ball in their territory, making moves now. They're going to have the ball up around their own 35, first and 10. Panthers, Dan, they go up 28-9. You probably write that one as being done. Decision desk will have a look at it at that point.
Feels like it.
Yeah. Hudson going for another big play, but the pass is overthrown. So, we may need to go out of network on our top screen.
Yeah.
What do you think? What should we look for? I don't know if that Janesville Craig game is on anywhere.
I'm looking through the scores on ScoreStream.
Travis Wilson's down in Janesville tonight, so and he usually picks a pretty good game to go to. So trust his judgment.
Rhinelander, they're up 13-7 on Hayward.
I know what I was going to look for, so I'll look for it now. This is the War on 64, Maryland Antigo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know where to find it here. Let's see. I don't know if I can get it on that screen. It's on one of the wacky things.
The War on 64, I like it.
Yeah.
So this goes back to the old Valley days when Anago and Merrill and Rhinelander were all combined. And Rhinelander-Anago, that used to be a huge rivalry. Anago and Rhinelander not that far apart, of course. And it feels like Anago-Merrill's kind of elevated to the Red Robins' natural rivalry.
Quick update here, Dan. Cast your eyes on Gerke Field. Play action pass. I remember I said 28. We may have an end. Decision desk is calculating right now because the Panthers have taken a commanding 27-9 lead. The extra point is pending. Apologies there. I just had to update you on that. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see if they'll give us. Huh. Oh, okay. Click here. So they give me a link, and then they say, well, if you really want to watch it, click here. Well, yeah, I really want to watch it. Why did I click on it? I don't understand sometimes.
Keep the bots away.
Oh, I see.
Destroys
Oh,
automation.
boy, it's one of those I'm going to have to.
Are they going to make you pay?
No, but the score it's all the way in the bottom of the screen. It's so tiny.
I think Merrill's better than Anago this year, but you throw out the records when these teams get together.
Look at this. How's anybody supposed to see the score?
Is there a full screen?
I'm in the full screen. That's the problem. And when I go this way,
Does it even have a score on there?
well,
I don't.
there's a 0
Oh, in the corner.
on somebody's side.
It could be 10 though. I don't know.
It's 2023 game. Get your game on so we can help you promote your team. I don't know. They're playing football in Antigo. I have no idea what the score is. You can't see the scoreboard on their thing. It's horrible.
Yeah, we don't have a score from Assumption Marathon either. I could listen to the football call
Is there one?
on the radio,
Oh, I didn't even know there was one. All right.
but that's not very good coverage of me listening to a radio call over here.
Put your AirPods in. See
Yeah.
what happens. Let's see here. Well, you know what? The other competitive game had been Oakland Memorial, New Richmond. I see though New Richmond has taken a 22-7 lead over my A's.
And Richmond's pretty good.
Number 2.
West leads East 42-7 at halftime.
So they need Weston's going to score for running clock.
East-
Shy of it.
East's touchdown was a 95-yard kickoff return. One of the many kickoffs they've
Well, they had
received.
a lot of chances.
Rennick has 271 and 4 touchdowns in the first half.
It's pretty good.
Don't think he's going to play the second half. Something tells me.
Something tells me. Let's see here. Yeah, if I could find other games, I would tell people about them. But, you know, like we've got 10 games on a Friday night, and you look around the state, you can find about 10 more that are actually watchable, right? I mean, I don't, the ones that there's no score on the screen, I don't count those. Because what am I looking at if there's no score?
Do our friends up north have any games on?
Well, probably the Medford game, whoever Medford's playing. So give me a second here. I wanted to put a bow on Pacelli.
Yeah.
52-0. Okay, so we won't check on that game. We're just checking these off our list here, Dan. That's all that's happening.
If score margin of victory were a component in the rankings, Pittsville would be very high.
They'd be ranked number 1, most likely. Edgar taking it easy on Rothschild tonight, 42-0.
Edgar in the
And I
yellow
mean that.
jerseys tonight.
What's that?
Edgar in the yellow jerseys. I like that.
Okay. Oh, alumni night, right? So that's what you wore back in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's why. Not the white. They're not their home whites. Okay. So like I said, we're just kind of putting a bow on some of these games. New Richmond, Oakland Memorial, I'll say that's done.
I'm pretty shocked it might be something.
Amherst Shiocton. Well, let's see. Yeah, 13-0. Yeah, I've got. Oh boy, and how did Stevens Point scored again, Dan? Let's see what happened here. Big. Okay.
Defensive score?
Defensive score. It's going to be. So, and Rapids does it right. You're under shotgun inside the 10,
We just
but then they pitch
fumbled
it.
it, yeah.
But you still threw the ball in the air inside the 10-yard line. I can't believe Tony Viola would call that play. Put the ball in the air inside the 10.
I didn't think that Andy Reid would call some sort of weird
Yeah.
reverse direct snap garbage on 3rd and 2.
Last 2 series in the game last night, both teams went for it on 4th down. When 15 years ago, both would have punted.
Yeah.
Football has changed. Is what I'll
Yeah.
say.
So the Chiefs go for it on 4th and 25. And it's probably the right call. Right?
In
I don't.
a 1-point game.
Well,
It's
I don't.
weird, right?
I don't
It's weird.
understand. So if you're the Chiefs, why not let them score? Go down 8.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing to think about because there's no difference,
You try to stop them,
right?
and
Yeah,
then
right, because I don't know, but it's changed a lot. That was unheard of. Not that
Yeah,
many
you
years
would-
ago.
3 minutes left, 4th and 25 from your own 30. Like, why would you do that? But you know, it's changed. It makes sense. And then they had him. The guy almost caught the ball. Another drop. They had like 4 drops in the 4th quarter last night.
Dan, they call it science, analytics, the numbers, the math. The math shows. Okay, so the Marshfield sideline is kneeling, so obviously we've got an injury that has halted the game in Schofield.
Not
I think
great.
It's 14-0. Like, it's not done.
Yeah.
But Marshfield on 0, deep in the 3rd quarter, not showing any life, though, at the same time. So according to the scoreboard, it's not done. But I don't know. I'm so confused by Amherst. To the point where I think I've made up my mind that this is what do the kids call it? A mid team.
A flawed team.
Flawed. They're mid. And the song says, right, there'll be days like this. And I think Amherst is in those days like this. And
It's
so,
too bad because they had a great team last year.
Yeah, and everything that happened with that. We talked about that in week 1. We won't
Yeah.
rehash it here today.
Big play.
Well,
Ooh,
he was
a
grabbing
little.
the receiver from behind. He was like, "Oh, I haven't seen you so long. I give you a hug." And no flags.
That might have been uncatchable or something.
Yeah, you just don't get a lot of PI flags in high school
Yeah.
football anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that's actually taken into consideration in high school football.
Uncatchable? No, it's not. But you don't get PI flags unless it's really obvious.
Well, nobody throws.
Yeah, well, a big reason, I guess, right? Hudson, what a pick 6 from the Raiders. Or not a pick 6, an interception, but they waved off, they stayed hit the ground.
Man, that looked good. That looked like it was a catch.
That's, now they've got replay. The
Yeah.
River Falls folks do. Now,
Yeah, they might not show that on replay though.
what we do with our replay is we zoom that in. Like we do like
Yeah.
an official replay. If we're gonna replay, you show a replay. We'll see if they can spin up the replay there. It was close. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it's the away team. I don't think they're gonna try to show that.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, good point.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, but they don't slow it down. They don't zoom it in. Yeah,
Oh.
you can't tell anything from there.
Looks pretty good.
So they're an area to improve for River Falls broadcast is get the replays figured out. That was a little bit low standard there compared to everything else they do.
So I like markings on the field. I like mid-court on a basketball court. I want the logo to be like from 3-point line to 3-point line, like
Okay. Big
like
logo.
celebrate it.
Big logo.
I'm not a big fan of the Shiocton field of having the line go through the S.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to. It's the 50.
Yeah, I mean, paint over it, but paint the S over it. You can still keep the line on there. This field has the line, and it has the S with green between the S and the line.
I see. So it's an interrupted S.
Yeah. And
Stylistically flawed, according to Mr. Ross.
do better.
Do better.
Hey, at least they have the hash marks in.
And the numbers on the sides.
Yeah.
It's a pretty well done field.
Yeah, it's really not a bad field. I just think that the S looks a
Just
little
that
bit
one
funny.
thing, right? And they had the big flame, a big Olympic flame in the corner.
Someone's just pouring gasoline on there every once in a while.
They're literally pouring gasoline on the fire. Okay, so yeah, Amherst 13, Shiocton nothing. But Shiocton's been able to drive a little bit. We haven't watched the whole thing, but they've been able to move the ball.
They had a turnover deep.
Yeah, I got to put Amherst just in that middle group at this point. So in the CWC Large, then I'm looking forward to Stratford-Wittenberg, and probably the conference champion comes out of that game. Or they tie, and then they do that wacky co-champion nonsense. But that might be a game. That was a game last year. We did the red zone from the bowling alley over in Wittenberg last year. And both teams ran the clock on each other, and Stratford won 8-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a horribly, horribly boring game. We went all the way to Wittenberg for that.
Yeah, there was something with that game. Something kind of weird happened, if I remember right. I don't remember what it was, but...
Probably too many penalties. It's probably more along the lines of what it was.
We had a lot of fun in Wittenberg that night.
We had a bowl
Yeah.
later on. We actually bowled.
Saturday night, I'm in a bowling league now.
SATURDAY. Hey, where do you do that?
Days Bowladome, downtown Wausau.
Oh,
It's-
I don't think I've ever been in there.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Okay.
It's not a huge place. It's nice. The league is every other week, so it gives us a chance to hang out with my sister and her husband and a bunch of other couples. It's a couples league more or less. Four-person teams, mixed
Okay.
every other week, so no pressure.
Okay.
Everybody at home that are in bowling leagues, there's going to be a lot of you. Tell me that you're not done with bowling 20 weeks in and knowing that you're
man.
halfway through it.
Yeah, it's a long season.
Yeah, it is.
Long season. Meant to occupy your winter, but it's a long time. It's especially that last month where the snow is melting and you're starting to get spring fever. And you're like, what night do you bowl?
Saturday.
And then Saturday I got to bowl. Like the Tuesday night crowd maybe isn't so bad because all you got to do is go to work the next day.
Yeah, I think we end early April,
Yeah,
so
that's
really
a
not
long
that bad.
time.
Yeah, but it's every other week, so it's really not that bad.
Okay.
But
Yeah, every other week makes it bearable then.
yeah, plus you can pre-bowl and stuff if you want. Like it's
Right. Plus Saturday.
a chill
Do a lot
league.
of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
They turn the lights off, get the disco ball going. For yours?
No, but
Okay.
it's interesting. They the league that I'm in, they offer free practicing. Like
Huh.
they just want people in
Just
in
get
it.
in there and eat the nachos and
Yeah.
get the drinks. Well, it's good business strategy.
Yeah, I mean, running the alley, having people on the lanes costs them almost nothing. I'm sure.
Yeah.
The
Well,
over-
Alley Marshfield got demolished.
Mm.
We get a car wash now.
Oh, another one.
Another one. Hey, listen, it's free market, right? So
See, look at the S over here. Do you see what I'm saying?
it reminds me of, I don't know if you ever had this, Dan, but when I was a kid, we had a record player, and geez, big tough run there. Hudson's going to take a 13-point lead on a nice 20-yard touchdown run.
Doesn't even look like the same team.
At Rand. No, it doesn't. Not from 2 weeks ago. It doesn't. The team I saw in week 1, it does. Anyway, so there were two different size records: 45s and 72s,
Yeah.
or 75 and 42, whatever those were.
Yeah, there's a small one, a big one.
And then and the small one, yeah. So the big one had just a little hole in the middle of the record, and then you sat that over the post down there, and then it played.
Yep.
The little ones had a circle cut out, and so you had to have this plastic adapter that fit in there, and it was in the shape of an S, so then it looks just like that.
Mm.
That is your useless information for the night, and I only gave it to you once. Most everything I attempt to do is to give you good information.
End of the third. Amherst 13. Shyok nothing.
Rough, just a rough game. 13-0, and for Shockton too. I mean, they beat Spencer Columbus last week 7-0. So those two games combined are 20-0 or 13-7, depending how you want to look at it. But it's enough for me to turn it off. I'm moving on.
We're running out of games.
And we knew this would happen. Okay, we knew it would happen. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I've already flipped through all of them here. Yeah, Little Shoe Wapaka. They hadn't quite got to a running clock yet when I last checked. And Wapaka's on the board, so 27-3. You know, Dan, I said this in week 2, I think it was. Wapaka got beat by somebody that day, 24-0. But it was a team they had lost to the year prior, 50-something to not very many. And the Wapaka Comets are getting better.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting better. Coach Bennett Hansen, I think it's his 4th season, 3rd or 4th year. He's a good football coach, and Comets fans have reason to hang on. Good time, maybe not this year all the way, although they were a playoff team last year.
Wapaka?
Yeah, 3-win playoff team. That's we get into week 7 or 8, we'll start talking about how all that works. But yeah, and then they got blasted by West Salem in the playoffs. That was bound and determined to happen. Here, the Comets of man, the ball was on the ground for like 6 seconds, and the Comets couldn't find a way to scoop it up. Everybody was trying to grab it.
There are like 3 or 4 of them.
Because they were all trying to reach down for it instead of falling on it. Because
Yeah.
it was 3 or 4 Comets against just the one Little Shoot running back.
Yeah.
And he eventually got it. But anyway, the team is improving. And largely with some of the same kids. And the team is improving. They're looking better. I tell you to go support the Comets if you can.
Yeah, and they play in a sneaky tough football conference, but in great basketball conference. Really
Yeah.
good. Hudson might put this away if this is theirs.
Yeah, River Falls just put the ball on the ground, but they got it back. So Wildcats got the ball back. Marinette, who we got to know during the spring season because of that conference and because we were selected to broadcast the entire American Legion State baseball tournament there. So we kind of paid attention to Marinette during the high school year last year. The boys went over in the basketball season.
The Marinette boys?
Yeah. Other than that, the conference was really good. And maybe that's why you went over. Yeah, they were 0-26. Or 0-25, I guess, right? Because you play 24 regular games.
Yeah, it depends. You can maximum 24.
Okay. Well, not basketball season though. So
No, basketball season's long enough.
yeah, yes it is. Yeah, the month of January takes forever in high school sports. Oh my gosh, takes forever. If it wasn't for NFL playoffs, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah, and February is pretty long too, but at least the back half is playoffs and you got
Conference
projections.
championships, yeah,
And
you start getting seeds, and there's some things to do. There's some wheels are turning. January wheels are just spinning, and it's so cold outside, and like everything's just working against you.
It's a grind. Basketball, like
Yeah.
even for the players
Yeah.
and the coaches
Yeah.
and everybody, it is a grind.
Which reminds me, it's still up for grabs, our All Access team. So just like Hard Knocks, in the winter we choose a boys and girls basketball team. Now they got to be from the same school. That's the only caveat there, but we've had no trouble with that. The last
Wide
few
open.
years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, over the shoulder catch, and
Caught with his hands.
yeah, that's what you got to do. I mean, coach always tell you, get that triangle, and then let the point of the ball come right into that triangle.
Tony could not do that last night.
No, no. Anyway, so we won't, if it's left up to us, we'll find a team. But usually what happens is people around this time start notifying us that they'd like to be in consideration for All Access. So again, just like Hard Knocks, we follow your boys and girls team through the season, at practice, in the locker room, at halftime, after the game, on the bus, at home. And we show all the behind the scenes. So we had a great time with Oak Cliff Memorial last year. We were with Columbus Catholic the year before, and so on and so on. So we'll have a new one. But basketball, yeah, fortunately, is still a long ways away for me. There are some people that can't stop talking about basketball.
Yeah.
They exist.
Practice, I want to say girls practice is 5 weeks.
Yeah, well, whatever,
4
like
weeks.
November 5th or 8th or something like that might be, whatever that is. That's first practice for girls. Whatever that
That's crazy.
is on the calendar. Okay, so Marshfield and DCRS are still on the red zone. Actually, all of our red zone games, Dan, are still up. Only Stevens Point and Wisconsin Rapids has really gotten out of reach.
Marshfield's got to go on a drive. They have to get the ball in.
Kekaunan has just intercepted the ball. With 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they lead just by 7. So that was a big interception for the Ghosts.
They were galloping down the field.
Yeah, well, there may be a flag on the play. I mentioned we don't see much PI. And it's pass interference on Nina.
Wow.
So the offensive player gets PI called on him. The Ghosts interception stands. They lead by 7 with 4:38 to play in the game on the road at, what I tell you before, number 3 ranked Nina? Something like that. Yeah, so Marshall Everest. So, I mean, the game's on I guess we picked the 3 best ones to put on here. We had Hudson River Falls as a consideration. But Marshfield with the ball. It's still the third quarter. They had a long injury timeout. So still just the third quarter up in Schofield. Everywhere else is fourth quarter. I think, well, a couple maybe aren't, but still multiple minutes left in the third quarter there. But Dan, you were saying Marshall's they got to get going.
It has to be here. Because again, you don't come down from 2 scores in the fourth quarter in high school.
You just don't. We see it every week. That was told to me not that long ago, and I thought about it. It's exactly true, and we see it week after week after week. You just don't have it. The clock awareness isn't there. It takes a long time to get plays into the huddle. All that takes time. There's no 2-minute warning. There aren't built-in clock stoppages like that. And
Yeah.
You just can't. And the offenses just aren't explosive enough, especially in the fourth quarter. Like, if you could score twice in the fourth quarter, why are you losing? That's the other part of the equation.
Yeah, and teams aren't passing. Their passing playbook is 5 plays.
Yeah.
Unless they're in the
If
huddle
you
just
catch-
telling someone to do something.
And then you've got to be able to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of catch. There's a lot of pass attempts, but the completion percentages for most teams are really low.
Speaking of like rule changes and conserving the clock, college football getting rid of the stoppage every first down.
Yeah, I like it.
Big fan.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you give your 2 cents on it, obviously, but some of those college games were 4 hours long.
Yeah, because it's 56-52. There's no defense.
Yeah, and then still stopping the clock.
Yeah.
60 to 70 times a game.
Yeah, I think the wide hash marks matter quite a bit because it opens up the entire field to do whatever you want, right? That's a beautiful play. Hudson again.
Just a dime. Just dropped a dime in on him.
Hudson can't score 14 against Stevens Point. Put up 34 on River Falls.
River Falls is a good football team, folks. But Hudson having their way tonight. Yeah, so the games were almost 4 hours long, especially the bowl games because they have the extended halftime.
Yeah.
And it's just so long to sit there and watch. And you know what is interesting for me? I've made this comment to a lot of people with me and my relationship with college football. But by the time the national championship game airs on TV, I'm so burned out from college football. And then they expect me to sit there, because now I've watched, the 18th bowl game in the last 2 weeks. I do watch a lot of them. And the NFL playoffs are going on around that time. And then they expect me on a Monday night at a game they don't start till 8 o'clock Central Time to stay up till midnight watching this national championship game. And I'm just burned out. I'm so exhausted by the time that natty happens that I almost don't watch it.
My Fighting Illini are on TV right now
Playing on a Friday.
at Kansas.
Is it lacrosse or is it football?
Football.
Okay. Football on a Friday night.
So I have a controversial take, but I'm going to say this to you, and you're going to think about it, and you're going to agree with me.
Let's hear it.
The Kansas Jayhawk mascot.
Yep.
Think about him.
Okay.
He's a bird,
Locked in. Yep.
the smuggest of college mascots. Pull him up, take a look at him. You'll be like, yeah, that bird is full of himself.
Well, to me, he looks like a single-colored parrot. He's not even looking like a Jayhawk, really. He's a single-colored parrot.
He has his wings like tucked in like he's the
Rock chalk.
head bird on campus.
Yeah, well, he is.
He is.
But not on every campus, you're saying. But that's how he acts.
Yeah, that's how he
He's
acts.
on every campus. Well, I love mascots, man. And about 10 years ago, Capital One, the credit company,
Yeah.
they had the mascot bowl,
Oh, yeah.
the football game with the mascots. And I thought it was pretty good. I can remember the Jayhawk in that game. Bucky Badger held up well in there. I don't remember Illinois having a mascot in that game.
Illinois used to have a mascot,
Not
and
anymore.
that's no longer a thing.
Much controversy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's what you'd expect it to be.
Yeah, they ended up in the score when that touchdown came in 41-20, Hudson. So Hudson has really pulled away here. They're up by 21 in the fourth quarter, so we can probably turn that one off. Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
And a lot of Hudson's scores have been long plays.
Big passes, big run, 50-yard runs, 40-yard pass plays.
Yeah.
They've really put it on the Wildcats tonight. And again, this was a 2020 game at halftime.
Yeah, and this
Right.
is a Hudson team that could not move the ball against Spash.
Not at all. Not at all. So, I look back, again, I gave Spash a hard time, especially at halftime of that game in week 2. I thought Hudson was going to run it up on him. And I hadn't seen maybe what I thought I was going to see out of Spash in week 1 and then halfway into week 2. But they got beat by the number 2 team in the state in week 1. And then eventually did beat Hudson. What was it, 17-14 or something like that? final score?
Something, yeah.
And then handled Hortonville last week on the road. It's the first road game of the year. Yeah, maybe.
Hortonville not very good this year.
Not very good. Not very good.
But they're beating Rapids
maybe
tonight.
Spash has something. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. That Spash West game is looking awfully interesting.
Again,
Awfully interesting. You said that's week 9?
week 9 is West Everest.
So it must be week 8 then. Spash and here, I'll look it up. You've done a lot of looking today.
Illinois down by 27 in the third quarter. Whew.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
No, it's not good. Although I will say that Illinois football needed a last-second field goal to beat Toledo at home last week. So,
Yeah, but the Toledo Rockets, though, you think of a rocket, all it wants to do is blast off.
hey, they are the defending MAC champs, and they bring almost everybody back.
Toledo is?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're a good team, but you still play a MAC team at home in football. You got to win. Ask Purdue, because they paid Fresno State $1.2 million to beat them at home. That happens quite a bit in Division I football. You pay lesser teams a lot of cash to come play at your house.
Yeah.
And if you pay $1.2 million and then they beat you at your house, that's a double kick to the gut.
So MAC teams, you're talking about MAC teams. Tomorrow, Ball State plays at number 1 Georgia. They get a big payday, big check.
I have not looked at the line of that game, but I'm willing to bet that it's probably 52.5. They won't give half points if it's that big. I would say 52.
Well, let's find out. That seems almost like a low number. It seems.
You definitely don't have that site in your favorites.
I don't think so. I'm really having to search for it. 42.
42. Oh, they're going to win by more
Over
than
under
42.
52. So they're thinking Ball State's going to score 10.
52-10?
42-10.
Well, 52-10
Well-
if it's 42, right?
Right. Yeah, no, right. Yeah, the over under 52.
Yeah.
So they're counting on,
Oh, man, that
or 52 nothing. I don't know I don't know exactly how they calculate it all.
yeah, that feels both of them feel low. Although Alabama's not known to really run it up, generally speaking. Saban doesn't really do that.
Georgia. They play Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
Yeah. I don't know.
That feels low, man. That feels low. We are not betting people while on the cameras on us.
For sure not them.
Feels low. If only we could make these wagers legally in our state, it'd be,
Well, if only I knew
Different.
somebody that had some inside info on the Ball State Cardinals.
yeah, if
Yeah.
only.
If I didn't have, say my dad living in Muncie, Indiana, formerly the beat writer for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Maybe I should let him, maybe we need to phone him in here.
You should. You should.
Things are kind of unraveling here. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. We may have about 15 minutes. So, honestly, folks, we're having a great time, but there comes a point in the night where the scores are such where there's just not much else we can tell you.
Can you put the Marshfield game on the screen
Yep,
over there by you?
yep. They're at commercial right.
Because it's the only game that really matters.
Well, I'll put on both. Put on both. Okay, so you heard Dan.
14-7.
Okay, so Marshall just scored. So we may be here a little bit longer. Because it's just a 7-point game now. All right, where do I? Oops. Brand new technology for me tonight.
Someone stole his remote.
Can you believe that? Who would do that? There we go.
That Eversfield looks good. That was really ratty a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I am glad that the residents of Schofield contribute to the school and the athletic program, building a brand new facility over there.
So Stevens Point and Wausau West, which at our current pace, Everest will have something to say about it, or the winner of the Everest-Marshall game will have something to say about it, perhaps. But our current pace is West and Spash, and that's the 22nd. That's exactly the time you and I are going to Coquitlam.
Okay.
So, but look forward to that being on the network. Though.
Is that going to be north or down here?
So it's at West.
Okay. Man, it really sets up well for West this year. They're a pretty good team. They didn't play well last week, by their own admission. But sometimes you have to win ugly. Couple turnovers, that unusual. The Tiger defense is ferocious.
Well, I mean, again, it's not been the defense. They held New Richmond to 24. Hudson got 31 on them, but the offense for Marshfield, then that was a game I was at. The offense was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. So, I mean, the defense can only hold up so long.
Yep.
During those kind of scenarios.
Everest is taking a lot of time. Ooh, almost an interception. Tigers almost come away with one. 3rd and long.
So 3rd and long. Time for Marshfield to really get going.
If you're Marshfield and you score, there's like 5 minutes left, you go for 2?
With the start they've had and where they want to go, I think so. If it's me. I remember DC Everest on this field doing that a couple of years ago. Now, it was week 1 or week 2. They hosted Chippewa Falls, and they had kind of a comeback in that fourth quarter. And Coach Tim Strelo believed, okay, we got some momentum here. We score, late. There's a minute left or something. Here's a big third down conversion for the Greens. We got some momentum. We're going to go for 2, and they didn't get it. And then Chippewa was able to run out the clock, and we lose the game like that. But his feeling was, we thought we had momentum. It's week 1. It's a non-conference game. See if I can give my guys a little something here in the early season. With big conversion there for DC Everest. That was big. Because Everest hasn't scored since the first quarter.
Hudson just scored again, running it up on River Falls. The other thing with the, do you go for 1 or do you go for 2? Extra points are not gimmies in high school. Especially if there's something writing on it. In normal circumstances, it's probably an 80 to 85% kick. Lower divisions, it's probably closer to 60-40. And if you're going to miss the extra point, for whatever reason, you'd rather miss it going for a win. There's a lot that goes into it, though. I'm sure that each of the teams have 3 or 4 2-point conversion plays that they can call on.
Yeah, you got the 2 or 3 that you really like, and depending on what the other defense has given you on that drive, you'll go to the 1, right? You'll be able to narrow that down.
I think Illinois might have fumbled at like the 1-inch line.
Sorry, Dan. I do apologize.
Interception Tigers. Nice play.
Well, what is going on?
At the Everest 46?
Well, they're in prime position now with 9 minutes left. They would be, if they can go down and score, they'd be one of the very few that we have seen in the last couple of years that will have made a 2-score comeback in the fourth quarter. And they're wearing all orange tonight. Maybe that's the ticket.
Like Halloween.
Maybe that's exactly what they need.
Yeah, I wonder, do the teams have to tell each other what they're wearing ahead of time? Home gets the pick, maybe?
Home picks.
Yeah.
Home says what they're wearing. You both can't wear dark.
Oh, they're going for it all. Underthrow!
Oh, it's a touchdown! Chris Pohl with the touchdown for the Tigers. Wow.
That's a good catch. He had to slow down and reach behind him, and the quarterback is pumped. Feels like they're keeping him out there.
Well, and with 9 minutes now, and if you're Marshall, right, you think your defense is hooked up right now, and you've solved Everest, then you got to go for 2 right here. You got them on their heels, but they're going to line up for an extra point.
but they're not going to do it.
Well,
that's good. Tie game. Hey, we got one. We got one tonight.
Right.
There we go.
All right. Well,
all right, so we'll see you later.
We're going to start making some adjustments on the screen. We've had a game go final. So Kakana is either done or they just left the building. The broadcaster's like, we're out of here. Yep. Okay, so we're down a game, and did I just close? I just mistakenly closed something here. There we go. All right.
Yep.
So we're kicking Smash Rapids out of our view.
9:07 to play. Everest getting the ball on the kickoff. Everest, again, has not done very much with it since the first quarter.
Dan and I are going to go.
On the kickoff, he's ripped down at the 16.
Dan and I are going to go ultra small here. There we go.
Ultra small.
Because this is it. This is the game.
Yeah.
This is the game.
A lot riding on this. I mean, this is a... this would be a huge win for your Tigers. Be the biggest conference win for anybody this year.
This would be their biggest win the last couple of years. You know, you and I were at the Everest Marshall game last year.
Yep.
And, you know, of course I picked the Tigers because I will.
I was wearing a tree, so I must
I
have picked...
wasn't sure, though. Dan.
I must have picked the trees.
You did. Just...
Because that's the Twitter photo.
Well, right. But I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure.
That's not going to be much. Gain a 3 maybe? 3 or 4? 2nd and 7. They call it 2nd and manageable. You try to get 4 yards on first down. I think you like to get 5, but you want to get 4. You know, there's a chance that Hudson wins the rest of their conference games, and they sit at 8-1 with their loss to Spash.
Isn't that something? So incomplete pass. We're on 3rd down here already. All the momentum with Marshfield. All the momentum. A final in Wittenberg tonight. Wittenberg, Burnhamwood 62. Spencer Columbus 0. So congratulations to the Chargers.
Not unexpected.
No.
And we joke around and we say there's a handful of close games in the state every week, but there's probably a handful to maybe 10 games close in the state every week. We've been pretty lucky. We've had a couple most nights so far this year, but that's not the normal. That's not a good play call. Marshfield has it.
So pass
Sniffed
goes
out.
for a loss.
Yeah.
4th down.
Noel checks meets. Thorpe, Wisconsin t-shirt behind us here.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, how about that? Sorry, so sorry. The reflection, I couldn't see out there. But I'm glad you saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was showing off his t-shirt.
Showing off a shirt? All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. If you had some of that meat, you should have come in here and gave us some beef sticks. So punt goes off the side of his foot. Fair caught at the 45. So
Yeah.
8 minutes left. There's still a lot of time here, especially in a tie game now. What a comeback for the Tigers. They have scored twice in the 4th quarter. They bucked the trend. They bucked the math. And now, though, with the chance to go down and take the lead, I don't know why there's discussion on the field. Unless there's a penalty flag out there I don't see. But maybe just good communication from the officials. Probably what it is.
Yeah, they got to change balls out and stuff.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
Because everybody has their own ball.
Yep. So we got, now he's just off screen.
New Richmond really gave it to Memorial tonight.
It was close early. 7-7 first quarter.
31-7 final. New Richmond's got a team this year, though. A lot of good football in the West and Northwest this year. A draw play for 10 yards. Receivers did a good job in that draw play. The receivers ran fly routes with some intention there.
Okay.
Linebackers and the safety has to go back. They can't come up. They see both receivers on the outside going up the field.
Everest is reeling here. They're reeling. River Falls gets a garbage time touchdown. Confidence booster for next week.
Yep. Menominee 28, Chippewa Falls 20.
And not final. So it's fourth quarter, if that's to be believed. Marshall will pass on 2nd and 1. Nope, they'll tuck it and run. That'd be enough for the first down. So first down.
It's really hard to see the markers over there in the orange.
Yeah, orange sticks and orange kids.
Yeah.
A lot of orange. It's my kind of orange, though.
Well, they're only about 10 yards from field goal range, maybe 15. Marshfield's not thinking field goal, though. They have Everest on the ropes. Clock just keeps on ticking.
Yeah, Marshfield's going to take as much of that clock as they can. Mainly,
Tipped.
I mean, there's a lot of reasons. Yeah, that can't be complete. There's a lot of reasons, but you're on the road. So if you can, wind that clock down every time and don't let the home team get the ball back. Not regulation, if you can.
Yep.
But that pass was incomplete. People are having a good time in downtown Stevens Point.
Yeah, it is really
especially
active.
Friday nights.
Yeah, well, the kids are back.
University kids,
Yeah.
we're 2 blocks away from campus housing, and just people having a great time down here. A lot of places that a 21-year-old or older can go and recreate on a Friday night. Just right, I mean, one right across the street, others all around us. It's happening. You got the square down here, or shaped like a square.
Maybe I can convince you to put the lights outside here, and we'll just do it from the sidewalk.
Think that's a good idea?
Oh, no.
What happened here? So,
It looked like he fumbled it and picked it up and ran with it.
well, that's alignment.
That's alignment.
So you can't advance a fumble, though.
I don't think you can, but
So they're going to have to spot it back.
do the officials know that?
Well, and now
He's
the
hurt.
ball carrier is injured, so unfortunate situation.
Number 59, I think.
for Marshfield, because it's going to end up as a fumble recovery, and the ball will go back to the original line of scrimmage, if I understand the rule correctly. But they're marking it at the 36. I think
Maybe it's a high school rule. I
they're
don't
going to
know.
have to talk about that. They're going to have to talk about that.
Well, the Everest coaches should
They'll have
be.
time.
Yeah. The Everest coach should be on it.
You know, and last night though, you thought the Lions coaches should have done more about that right tackle, and it persisted the whole game up until essentially the game was over, or very near the end of the game.
Yeah. All right, so your Cowboys, you have the G-Men.
Sunday night in New Jersey, Dak Prescott has been very good against the Giants. He's won the last 10. So Prescott has won the last 10 against the New Jersey Tri-State Giants, whatever they're called. And I had a stat up here. Let's see if I still have it. Here we go. You ready for this, Dan?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. So, well, I want to talk during the game, but we're still figuring that out. So since 2016, Dak has 24,943 passing yards and 1,642 rushing yards. So since he entered the league, it's 97 games. He gets 57 passing yards on Sunday night. It's him and Aaron Rodgers only that have 25 and 15 in their first 100 career games.
Okay.
So that'll happen unless he breaks his leg again. That'll happen. It's pretty good. He gets so
Screen.
much.
Ooh, sniffed out.
National media hates most don't like the Cowboys, and they especially don't like Dak for whatever reason. If Dak Prescott had a pick six last night that went through the hands of the receiver like this, that's all you would have found on ESPN today.
Oh yeah.
But Mahomes doesn't have that kind of national scrutiny. So that's the life of being.
You win a couple Super Bowls and you get
It's a life,
forgiven of things.
Yeah, a little bit. But Aikman never got forgiven either. It's just the life of being the Cowboys quarterback. It's just what comes with the territory. So Marshall's going to call a timeout. It's 4th down.
Do you think he's going to punt?
No, I don't. I think they really like their defense right now.
If you like your defense, pin them back and take 4 more downs right here where you'll get the ball back.
I I think what Coach Gadel is perhaps thinking is if somehow we can convert, we can run another 3 minutes off the clock, and then there's only 2 minutes left, and then if we got to pin them back, we will. I think they're going to go for it.
So last year I asked you about the Cowboys because I had Dak Prescott as my quarterback,
Yeah.
which I think he got hurt or something. I did.
Well, he missed 5 weeks early
Yeah.
in the season. He had a leg calf injury or something.
Yeah. You said the offense no good, defense is going to be good. You were right on those. How about this year?
Defense still very good. Offense a little better than last year.
Okay.
A little better. I don't know about Brandon Cooks yet. He's played for a lot of teams. Usually when a wide receiver plays for a lot of teams, there's something wrong with him. Like locker room problem or just something, right? Because why is he going somewhere every other year? So it's a bit of a situation.
Yep.
And that was their deal last year. Now, Michael Gallup was still hurt last year. He's back. But they didn't have a 2 last year. They've got a couple of 2s maybe. Now, Everson called the timeout. So you got Cooks and you got Gallup, who's in a contract year, plus he's now a full, almost a year and a half, year and 9 months off of the ACL. And so
Still
I
have
think the offense
CD.
will be a little better.
Still have CD.
Yeah.
You lose
Yep.
the tight end.
Yeah, but the other tight ends are pretty good though too. I don't know. I'm not even sure they're plus. They may even be plus in the tight end category.
What do you think about Pollard getting the majority of the carries this year?
I mean, he'll get the majority of the carries for sure. He's shifty. He's speedy. But they've got a couple other running backs. They're just going to pass the ball a lot. I think that Zeke, for the last couple of years, tricked the Cowboys into thinking they might have been a running team. And the money they spent on them, they maybe thought they had to be a running team. And that's gone now. That the whole situation is gone. I think they're a passing offense now. And I think they like what they have offensively. So defense is very good though. Defense is very good. I don't know if it's the best in the league, top 5, top 3, whatever, but defense is very good. They're going to give the offense a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, it's good. I read in the offseason here, I read that, in the media, of course, I read that
But
there's...
Sorry, I got to point out again, our very own Cale Jacoby in a 3-piece suit tonight.
I wonder who provided that to him.
Maybe he's got the... Ooh, I hit the wrong button. Maybe he's got the hook.
Looks like a tuxedo. Is he wearing a tuxedo on the field?
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Dan. Sorry.
No, I read that there's a lot of pressure on McCarthy to open up the offense.
Yeah, I
right?
think there's got to be.
And getting rid of Kellen Moore, he's gone,
Yeah,
right? Because
right.
McCarthy's calling
Yeah,
plays.
you tell your offensive coordinator, there can be no other answer except it's got to be better.
Yeah. And if it's not better, he won't be here next year.
Then it's you. Then it wasn't him, now it's you.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, okay, so here's another problem I have here, Dan. You know how I feel about this.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Interviewing a student athlete after a loss.
A 22-point loss.
F minus. F minus. I really like the River Falls broadcast folks. I really like them. We did a joint broadcast during baseball last year. They played a sectional game over in Marshfield that we joined up. Yeah, leave the kids alone after a loss.
Yeah, coach is fair game.
Sure. If he'll agree to it, great. And the kid's never going to turn you down because they like being in that situation. He gives them some sort of a trophy there, which is I don't know much about the trophy, but you got to always steer clear of giving kids things.
Yeah, that feels dirty. Unless he's not going to keep it, he's just taking a picture, but that's still...
Now we're treading into other territory where there's pictures of high school student athletes. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what it's about.
Oh, he kept it, though.
I can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
Marshfield in 4th and 6,
Oh.
the pass is incomplete.
That's a good defensive play.
So turnover on downs. The Evergreens will take over from their own 40-ish,
Yeah.
40-something, 5-10. So,
This feels like overtime.
doesn't it? Mainly since DC Rivers hasn't scored since the first quarter. They haven't scored since, I've almost forgot it's been that long. That's how long they've been without points. It feels a lot like overtime. And it feels almost a lot like we could be here till midnight watching this game. Because in high school football, you get a winner. There's no tie.
There's no ties. Unless there's lightning.
Yeah. We had a couple last year. But I don't know. You know, Marshfield very fortunate to have scored twice and tied this game, being offensively challenged as they are. But DC ever said, "Hey, check this out. Our offense can become stagnant too." Boy, this Marshfield defense is on fire. They are on fire. How about a loss of 5 on first down, a run stuff, a TFL, tackle for loss.
West defeats East 49-14. That's not a surprise.
Yep.
Just scrolling through some scores here. Owen Withy down by 2. That's 8-man to McDonald, the max. I thought you found the remote.
No. I don't know. I don't know what it doesn't matter. 2nd and 14.
Not seeing a lot of local scores. Neilsville beat Fall Creek
Oh, okay.
18-7.
Good win for Neilsville Granton there. Sack. Boy, that Marshall defense is really good right now.
The super common 18 points scored.
Huh.
That might be a Neilsville scoregami, 18-7.
Fall Creek lost their stud in week 1, broken leg.
Oh.
And yeah, so they're going to maybe struggle. Friend of the show, Larry Hazer, play-by-play voice for the Neilsville Granton Warriors football team. And he's recently inducted into the Marshfield Baseball Softball Hall of Fame a couple weeks ago. And he told me, he said, no.
With someone else I know.
Yeah. He said, no, the football team is better. They're better. And I'm like, Larry, he's got a kid on the team, and sometimes that really screws up your thinking.
Yeah.
But maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. Larry tuned in last week after he got home. So we'll see if Larry... I haven't.
Well, that's a big catch.
Had the messages on here. Yeah, that was a 3rd and 21. Now it's still going to be 4th down.
Yeah. You probably punt it.
4th and 4.
I think you got to punt.
4th and 4-ish.
I have a final Marathon Assumption.
Oh, okay. Can I guess?
Yeah. Guess.
Assumption 23, Marathon 11.
No.
Okay. The other way?
Assumption 7, Marathon 48.
Whoa! Whoa! Boy,
A crossover game.
what a letdown the Royals are having this year.
My Lakeland Thunderbirds score 14 tonight in a running clock loss. 50-14.
Punt upcoming for the Greens.
Fake.
A fake punt. There was holding. My Tigers were held, and he's going to run for a 1st down, but there was an obvious holding in the middle.
There really was.
Oh.
What in the world? I mean, it's...
That was obvious, guys. That was obvious.
You should rewind it. Can you?
I don't want to. I can. It was holding. He had him around the neck.
That's on the back judge. The back judge should be staring at it.
Man. All right, well, game continues. Well, obviously it's going to continue anyway.
Apprentice would have called it. He calls everything.
He also calls everything a muff. In his one game, he did play-by-play on Zaleski Sports. No, sure, you throw a penalty now.
I don't know what that was.
You throw a penalty now, you knuckleheads. It was a false start. But it was a hold. It was a hold.
All right, let's see what else we have here. The Rylander score is not final. We don't have anything on that. Blackhawk won.
Blackhawk!
Yeah.
All the way down in Illinois. Blackhawk, Benton or Bentonville, the town right across the border in Illinois.
I think it's just Benton.
Yeah, they co-op. The Illinois kids come over and play football in Wisconsin.
Apparently Pacelli's on the scoreboard. They're down 60-8.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see.
Marshfield defense letting up some plays now. That was a 10-yard. It was a 5-yard pass and then a broken tackle and 10 yards total. It's going to bring up 2nd and 5. It should be. Looks like. DC Arbors with life yet. Under 2 minutes to play in Schofield. Wow. I did not have this as our thriller for the night.
Kimberly wins by 1 tonight at home against Fond du Lac.
Yeah, okay. Two pretty good teams.
Yep, 22-21. That's a fun game.
Yeah.
Three Lake Blue Jays. We saw them week 1. Is that incomplete?
Yeah, it was tipped at the line. Defensive end tipped it. Yeah, we saw them. They beat
Newman.
Newman 30-7 or something of that nature.
58-7 winners against Port Edwards.
You do have a Newman score?
We'll see if it's on here.
All right.
Banger,
Yeah.
49-0 over Nacita, who's not good this
We saw
year.
Nacita in week 1.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's see what else. Bayport wins easy.
Bayport Pirates. 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. Minute and a half to play. And
Low
slant
throw.
is incomplete, off the carpet.
I think you got to go for it.
The quarterback for DC Everest, I don't know his name, and it's probably what he's being coached to do, but he takes a snap and shotgun. He never moves his feet. They don't even twist or turn. He just throws it flat-footed in any one direction. And he's throwing some darts out there. That one came in low.
Do you have a Newman score?
All right.
Newman loses by 26.
Wow.
No, that was Florence. That was last week.
I'm like, whoa. Yeah, Bowler probably going to be a better matchup if Newman wants to win a game. That's probably more favorable.
I think they're at Wabino tonight.
Wabino? It's close to Bowler.
It's not, but
Oh, well, from here.
I think Wabino's
all
on the
over that
border.
way.
Yeah, I think Wabino's on the border.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I think so.
Maybe I'm thinking of Bowler and Gresham. They're close together.
Bowler Gresham. Look, what?
Oh, okay. What's going on here? Yeah, that was CFL, right? That was CFL. He had a head start there.
CFL and arena football.
Yeah.
Like everyone can just run whatever they want.
Yeah. Okay, so we go from 4th and 5 to 4th and 10. Chris Conley's got to be losing his mind right now.
Yeah, you have to punt now.
Yeah. Yeah, punt team comes on. Now, they ran the fake.
They will
on
not.
and it was a holding call that never got called that everybody saw. Even the punter saw it and thought, oh, geez, well, I guess I'll just run because it's going to get called back. And then no flag ever came out.
You're so bitter. I love it.
Wow. I mean, come on. What are we looking at here? I'm a big fan of the officials. You know that. So it's got to be really egregious for me to talk about it like I am now, and it was.
Oh, look at that.
Coffin
Down
corner.
at the one, man.
Coffin. This is overtime, Dan.
Yeah,
Or
you have to get it
a
out.
defensive score.
Yeah, you have to just quarterback sneak it out of there.
Well,
a
there
couple
better not be a
times.
shotgun here.
Better not be.
Because I'm so sick of seeing shotgun in high school football anyway. And then they continue the formation inside the 10. And
Yeah,
we've seen it tonight multiple times in all games. So let's see here. Because I may lose my mind if he's in shotgun from the 1 yard line.
for the rest of regulation,
Yeah,
quarterback has to take it and just dive forward.
correct. I don't know.
3 times if you have to.
Everest has no more than 2 timeouts, but I don't know beyond that. I've seen him call one, but we're watching
Yeah.
a silent movie here. So I'm sure Chris has talked about it much. And if you rather watch this game, please go. You don't have to listen to us. Well, he's shotgun and he's passing from the end zone. Man.
Why? What are they
What is
doing?
going on here?
What are they doing?
Oh. I don't even care that it's Marshfield or it's a team in our coverage area. I'm talking about for the sanctity of the sport of high school football. You can't be in shotgun at the 1 yard line. Look at they're huddling out of the boundary. That's how far back they are. And you're putting your kid in shotgun for all things football. Get under center. But look at this. Okay, he'll be under center this time. All right, I can take it easy now. Huh. I didn't know he was going to pass from the end zone.
Oh! Oh, he had
So
2 yards on him.
here's the problem, though. You know what? If he completes it, great. But I still can't agree with any of this because you've ran a whopping 6 seconds off the clock. It's
Yeah.
3rd down, and now you're going to have to pass. You put the ball in the air, and bad things happen.
Newman won 37-0 tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Newman gets in the win column. They're 1 and 2.
Yep. Next
One and
up
two.
is Port Edwards, so it's obviously getting easier.
Yep. So Coach Paul Micklig will have a little bit better time tonight. He didn't want to talk to Chris on Saturday.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get 4 or 5 yards here. Otherwise, the punter's in trouble.
Okay. So why wasn't that done in first and second? Then?
Yeah, it should have been first down for sure. Everest has to take a timeout, right?
Here comes Tim Strelo, coach, going to call the timeout. So they've got one or none left. Either way, they're going to get the ball.
They're going to get the ball back at midfield.
All right.
Or on the Marshfield side of it.
You want a water?
I'm good.
Okay. I got to just take a break from this game.
Jason Zaleski is getting all worked up watching the Tigers. He's getting all hot and sweaty. Got some dry mouth. Downtown Stevens Point, the Zaleski Sports Studio, where the magic happens. Great spot downtown. Lots of foot traffic tonight. This is the most foot traffic we've had. People walking back and forth, waving. Everybody's waving.
Was it too hot? Like these last Fridays for people to be out walking around? Like have we reached like prime temperature for bar, for pub crawl?
It could be. It's very comfortable outside.
Yeah.
It's definitely not hot. It's a little chilly, but not too bad.
You know, Dan, what I like most about the Red Zone channel, sponsored by Security Health Plan, promises kept plain and simple. I get to be a fan sometimes.
Yeah.
This is what people do when they watch our games. They sit back in their chair and they shout at the TV, and I get to do that. There's the big Everest flag. I'm a big fan of that. Like the flag.
We are all football fans. We just get a chance to geek out, watch 10 of them at once.
Yeah. 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 We
That's
had
why-
our eye on 12 games tonight,
Yeah.
so that was good.
You asked me like, hey, do you want to sit down with me and watch football? Like, pff, yeah. Talk about football, sure.
All right. See, I missed nothing. Oh, there was movement on that line. Yeah, something happened there.
Yep.
False start.
So
that
now it's going to be from the 2.5.
it won't matter for the punter. He's still standing on the back line. Boy, if this snap goes out of the end zone or something, you can't. I mean, could you just imagine?
Yeah, so I do have kicking in my past.
Yep.
And I was not a punter, but I had to do it a couple times.
Sure.
And you are told to not stand on the back line. You need to stand a step or two onto the field. Yep, onto the field here.
Yep.
And no matter what, don't take a step back, because sometimes it comes back to you want to kind of take a step back. Everything you do has to be forward.
And quick.
Yep. Well, especially now. He doesn't have the full.
Okay, so punt is away. Pretty good punt. And it was touched. It was
Yep.
touched. Yep, the beanie comes in. It was touched. But a good return underway. DC Everett set up nice here. They're on the 32. Marshfield 32 with 50 seconds left. They do have a place kicker.
I figure you have to get down to inside the 20.
Yeah, to have a reasonable chance at a high school field goal.
Yeah.
But what a chance here for just what a game. What a game. A game I didn't think we were going to have. Hey Dave, thanks for watching tonight. I'm happy for it. I'd be happier if my Tigers pull out a win.
I don't like the all orange uniforms.
It's a different look.
It's like color rush. I'm not a big fan of the color rush nights.
We had black tops and silver pants when I played. I didn't like the silver pants.
I mean, why not black tops tonight?
Okay, quarterback's on the move that time. They threw a nice pass down inside the 25. Near
And out of bounds.
Field goal
They don't
range.
keep them in.
Near field goal range.
Yeah, they'd kick it from here probably.
Oh, right.
matter
With
what.
zeros on the clock, you got nothing to lose.
It's
Yeah.
40 yards from there. 40 is a kick, but
So 22, so we got 39, 40. Yep, pretty close. Pretty close. Now I think you just run the ball here.
you should. Yeah.
Because you could spike it if you wanted to. If you run off 5-6 yards, you spike it. Then you're down to the 15 or something. You got a lot of choices, but I don't know that I would throw the ball. A little too dangerous now. You did a lot of good work. You're fortunate to have the ball with a chance to win. But he's in shotgun. Man, I hate shotgun in high school football.
Four wide, trips left.
I get it. That's your base offense. I get it.
This
But
might
why?
just be a run. No?
No. It's a middle
Screen.
middle
Oh.
Yeah. Nose tackle got his hand on the middle screen. Otherwise, that might have gone the distance.
Yeah.
That was set up well.
Well, I don't know if he would have made it the whole way, but
Yeah, it was set up well. So it looks
Yeah.
like they had a stadium clock issue. They're gonna have to fix the stadium clock. Our clock is probably right, but see there, yeah, there he's gonna.
What does Zaleski Sports have up there?
We do get asked that from time to time, and the answer is we are not the official clock.
No.
Yeah, we get asked that all the time, or sometimes, but and the answer always is we are not the official clock. We don't tell them. But they adjust it to 34, so
Okay.
34 seconds. 2nd and 10. Yeah, the middle screen is going to be good. I mean, if he doesn't go all the way, he's down to the 10. And then you got a nice cozy field goal.
Again.
Yeah, I get it's your base offense. So my question is why? Why
They should
is
run
it your
this
base
left.
offense?
They should run this left.
Well, he's going to roll left,
Oh.
and it's complete.
Why are they playing prevent defense down here? It makes no sense.
Yeah, Everett's pretty excited about this right now. Guys on the field are pretty pumped up. So inside the 10-yard line, and chance for Evers to finish it off.
Those guys outside were just
Over
like,
there.
hey, Zaleski.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's caught on that we're down here. I get people call me, former acquaintances or whatever, and hey, I saw your sign. You got an office down there? Yep, we do.
Right downtown Stevens Point. Oh!
Oh!
So-
What a pass deflection. He was left
What?
uncovered.
Why is there a flag down here?
Well, what that would mean is
Way
illegal
back here.
formation then. That's going to be illegal formation.
It's way back though, where the quarterback threw the ball.
Or
The quarterback threw it late, right? He had a wide open receiver. He threw it so late.
yeah, illegal formation.
The quarterback threw it so late that Marshfield almost picked it off.
Well, it's, you got to go. It's a first-year starter. I forget the young man's name as I sit here, but I know he's a first-year starter. And then that film review is so important on Sunday or Monday. Each team does it on a different day, but you got to learn from those things and go. And Marshall was so late getting their call in defensively that they left him uncovered. Marshall is confused here on defense too, a little bit confused. They're gonna bring some pressure. It looks like though.
Might as well.
Here comes the heat, a run play, and this might be the touchdown here, Dan. Oh, twisting down. He's out of bounds though.
Nope, he's
No,
still
they're
in.
gonna wind the clock. So they're gonna spike it. So no timeouts left for DC Everest. I think we can confirm that now. Our decision desk has said no more timeouts. So they're gonna down it,
Well,
and they're gonna run.
it's
Well,
stopped.
hold on. Now they're waving. So
Oh,
last
timeout.
timeout. Okay, last timeout.
But what do you do? I mean,
You run your field goal team out now because if your holder or somebody makes a mistake, you can spike it and still get another field goal attempt. So you got a kicker right now because it's second down. Got to kick it. If you feel you got a kicker,
that's a weird angle. That's not going to be an easy kick.
if he's a right-footed kicker.
Either. I mean, just the hashes are so far outside.
So if he's a left-footed kicker, you got to kick it really sharp back in. If he's a right-footed kicker, you got to kick it more shallow.
Yeah.
Right? Am I saying that right? Your run-up's got to be a little bit wide.
I mean,
I don't
there
know.
is no doubt that he can make it, but it's not gonna. It's harder than an extra point for sure.
Well,
And-
do you have a kicker?
With the game on the line.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some pressure in that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It feels like there's still time for something weird to happen here.
So, everybody knows I'm a fan of the Tigers, but here is where, even though it'd be heartbreak for my Tigers,
The ball's at the 5.
it's much more fun to have what amounts to be a walk-off field goal for a win. But this is a quarterback.
The
on
quarterback's
the field.
out there.
So, all right. So, Coach Tim Strelo has on second down opted for a throw into the end zone.
It has to be.
You can't throw it short of the end zone. You have no timeouts left. You'll never be able to run a play. You won't be able to run 2 plays if the clock is going from here.
They might have a timeout left.
No, I've seen all 3 now.
Okay. Well, then in the shotgun here, because I feel like they're just going to run around for a bit and try to take some time off, or try to center it. But then your field goal unit has to sprint on. Doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. Like if you had a timeout, you would center this.
Right. He's going to roll out, look to the end zone.
Oh, see,
he
now
kept
what
it.
do you
He
do?
kept it. They're going to try to spike it.
I suppose it's third down. There's a lot of time.
See, I didn't think they could pull this off. I don't know. I don't know if our clock is right on there. It's manually operated clock. Okay, well, good execution there for DC Everest. So 19 seconds in high school, usually not enough time to get 2 plays. It's usually not. So through all that, you've gone on the hash mark that you feel your kicker wants to be on, and you've ran all time off the clock.
This is an easier angle for a right-footed kicker.
Okay. So all time, you got 2 seconds, whatever it is, even if it's 6 seconds, they'll run it to 0 on a field goal kick. So you're either going to win the game here or you're going to go to overtime. So
25-yard field goal.
Nothing bad should happen for DC.
A 20-yarder. Blocked. No, it's good. I didn't see the ball come up.
Yeah, it's a small football. from the press box. But the Evergreens go wild. They win a walk-off here tonight as we end our red zone coverage. What a way to end it. For us, for them, for everybody. Hey, Bill's watching online. Bill Mitchell, our main man.
I did. I thought it was blocked.
He dove in on it. Yeah, here comes our man in the suit.
Yeah.
But yeah, DC Everest on a walk-off here tonight. Not only to end the night in Schofield, but it also ends the night here in the area with a walk-off field goal. How about that, Dan? Kicker is a hero tonight.
Yeah, doesn't happen a lot. No love for kickers.
No,
Only hate.
Yeah, Amherst had one last year, and I know I said we wouldn't talk about last year, but
Yeah, they had a walk-off field goal.
yeah.
Kind of a longer one too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the next day is when the whole thing unraveled for that team, but
Yeah.
whatever.
I want to say it was like 30, 35 yards or 30 something. Like it
Oh,
was a
last
good
year's?
kick. Yeah.
Yeah, this was not. This was 21 yards. 22.
Tonight's was 20s, whatever.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Nice.
Wrap it up, Dan.
Yeah, so nothing unexpected really happened. The Everest Marshfield game, a lot closer than what we thought, and a lot closer than what it looked like for 3/4 of that game. But we're in week 4. Favorites win, more or less. And I don't think there was anything.
I didn't see an upset tonight.
No, I don't think. And it's rare to have upsets going forward. But you never know. That's why we're here every week.
Yeah, Everest will. They'll rejoice in this one.
Feel like they kind of stole that.
Marshall had all that momentum up until that fake punt and the no penalty.
Yeah.
Up until the successful fake punt, Marshall had all the juice. They had all the juice going in at that point. They had just scored 14 straight.
Interesting play
sack.
call, right?
Yeah. You know, and now that I think of this, I've seen Everest run a lot of fake punts, a lot. It's definitely part of the arsenal. Now, Coach's kid used to be the punter. He graduated a couple years ago, but he ran them, and they ran them to some success.
Yeah.
Okay, so no upsets, a lot of shutouts, a lot of running clock, a lot of shutouts, more running clock. Hudson with a big win tonight. Kakana with a big win. Game's out of the area, but I mean, Kakana's in our area nowadays. It's a pretty, for the other games, a pretty well played football. Yeah, I guess you'd expect that a month in. The kids have bought in.
Yeah.
They're playing better.
Some big games next week. Edgar goes to Colby.
Yep.
I don't know what is going to be in the Valley Football Conference next week, but yeah, hopefully some closer games next week. But we can't control the schedule.
No,
right?
we can't. But more walk-off field goals, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that was a good game. I'm glad we got one.
It's fun to see the kids jump around like that.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Kids having a fun time. Marshfield going to be awfully dejected on the bus ride back home.
So is Marshfield winless still in conference?
Well, they beat East last week. So
Okay.
I've said that today too. So
Yeah.
obviously we're overlooking that for some subconscious reason.
I just have a hard time keeping track of 8 teams.
I know it. So, yeah, I mean Marshfield, they're gonna play Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln. I think that game is next week. Winner there moves into that middle tier, and the loser is in the bottom tier with Hortonville and Appleton West.
West 2-0, Everest
Wausau West, yeah.
Everest 2-0,
Yeah.
Spash 2-0,
2-0, yeah.
Marshfield 1-1.
Yeah, so those are the 3, right? The first
Yep.
3. Those are the 3, and that's probably it.
Yeah.
Probably it. Everest still has something to say yet this conference season.
For sure. Marshfield 1-1.
Yep.
One of the Appleton schools is 1-1
Yeah, you're right.
because they had to play each other.
Right.
East is 0-2.
Yep.
Rapids is 0-2.
Yep.
Who else do we have?
Are you counting Hortonville as one of the Appleton schools?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Are there 3 Appleton schools?
No, Hortonville and Appleton West.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 at 2-0.
Yep.
2 at 1-1.
Yep. And 3. Well, yeah. And then
East
2
Rapids,
two
and
at
then
0-2.
whoever lost that game.
And then 2 at 0-2.
Yeah, I think if you're 0-2, it's getting late real quick.
Yeah, you're a month in.
Yeah.
You know, we're firmly into September when we kick off a week from tonight, and you just didn't turn out like you hoped it would.
Rapids Lincoln in trouble.
Big trouble. Big trouble. They have really struggled. Really struggled. They have not been competitive yet this year.
Yeah. I think off the top of my head, over in the Marywood, Colby, I assume that they're 4-0.
Yep.
Edgar's 3-1, but
Yep.
2-0 in conference.
Yep.
Pittsville's 4-0. Marshfield, I think, is 4-0.
And then Abbotsford, depending their
Auburndale.
Auburndale. Right.
Auburndale. They were 3-0, I believe, but I don't know how they did tonight.
They played O'Connell Falls, so tonight is Auburndale's forfeit. And bye week
Yeah.
deal. So
But if they lose, it still counts against them
It does.
in seeding.
in the seating, it
Right.
does, right.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
and then Abbotsford, pending Abbotsford's turnout tonight.
yeah,
But they're in that order though, right? As of now, until they play next week, Colby, Edgar, Colby, 1A, 1B. And then Auburndale for me, then Auburndale, then Pittsville, then Abbotsford.
that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the top 2 teams in the Marywood head-to-head next week over in Colby.
Yeah.
I encourage you to go to the game. If you are a fan of good football,
Yeah.
good old school football,
Yep.
where you're going to have 30 run plays on each side.
Yep. And we also have the tier 2 live. We've got Auburndale, Pittsville live next week. So you get the top 4 teams in the Marywood.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's you're looking for a Marywood game of the week. Marywood Pride, if you're out there, let us know.
Marywood Pride, bat signal, where you at?
We get no kickoff temps. We don't have any game previews, no side-by-side stats. We get nothing. I'm feeling lost.
You know what?
I'm abandoned.
We will invite Marywood Pride. You can come on the show. We can like blur your face out, or like we can like have you like in like the Scream costume or something. We're getting towards Halloween.
Give them the wacky modulated voice.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Final words.
Nothing. Another good week. Love high school football. Everybody loves football. It's a football country.
Yeah.
Didn't disappoint tonight.
Yep. Chris is he's now put 3 straight offensive linemen in the house.
Love it.
Yeah. And it's the best player out there.
Oh,
And the offensive lineman, yeah. I mean, they get into it, right? They get into it.
Should.
Because an offensive lineman gets no credit, right? So Chris is there for him. And the last 3 from Everest, they've been some of our best ones we've had in a long time.
Yeah. I mean, I have obviously done this many times.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's awkward. Sometimes it's good. But when the kids really get it, right? They really get it, and it's infectious. Plus, behind the camera, usually, you don't see this. I mean, we obviously see it, but the fans don't see it. Sometimes there's 100 people waiting to mob them and cheer, and it's really cool.
Yeah, dump water on them.
Yep, it's really cool. And then some kids just go through it; they have no passion for it.
Yeah,
They're scared, shy.
Right, not everybody's made for the big lights.
Yeah.
Not everybody's made for it. So, all right, well, very good. Highlights all day tomorrow on Facebook. Plus, we'll put pictures of these kids on all the social media. Enjoy and have a good night, everybody.